It's clobbering time!
Atomic batteries to power. Turbines to speed.
Roger. Ready to move out.
Clobberonimo! Well, hello there, everybody. Welcome, my good friends, to Saturday Night Star Trek. Clobbering Times, issue number 506 on YouTube, 1,206 overall. And go for it. I know. I apologize up front to all of my good friends out there who for the any terrible sound delays you may have. I'm trying to get that sussed out. We're gonna work with it. It might mess us up a little bit tonight, but we're gonna go on with the fight. We're gonna keep plugging anyway, because that's what you do. That's what warriors do, right? So, it's terrible, and I'm so sorry, but gonna work through it as best we can. So, hope if you do hear any, or if you notice anything like that, you could tell me and let me know. And,
So sometimes you're going to hear the boss sort of sound like he's
anything
underwater.
you guys can help me out.
And sometimes he's going to be talking over me. And I don't think it will be too often, because he and I are really close and we're able to sort of sense when we want to say something. But he is experiencing a significant delay. And this may be a software and a hardware problem. We're going to get it solved really soon. But I just want you all to know that that he is so upset about this, but we're going to work through it together. He and I, we're very simpatico, so we won't be talking over one another. But if you're wondering why there's sometimes the boss goes quiet or it seems like he's out of step, it's because he is. At the beginning of the show, he actually did a sound check with me, and the delay was like, I don't know, like maybe 4 or 5 seconds, you guys, and that's quite a bit. So yeah, please take pity on the boss so he doesn't have to take inordinate amounts of high blood pressure medication. We love you, Clubby.
Oh, well, thank you so much for that. And yes, everyone, I'm gonna try to tough it out here and try to keep my anger down a little bit, because I was really in a really good mood. So all kind of crazy stuff started happening and tonight, and nothing big or horrible or anything, and then this started creeping up again. I forgot about this. So but we're here. That's all that matters. And now I've got wires tangled up. I don't need that crap. I need to get a wireless. Well, never mind. So I'm just glad you're all here tonight. You've already cheered me up, everyone, and thank you. Yeah, from what they're telling me that I've my sound is pretty good. So I'll tell you what, I really appreciate that you're all here tonight, and just let me know if it's how well. I always sound bad to me, but so I'm a bad judge there. But anyway,
no, you're not.
Weird. I got a sound. This computer really is going nuts. It's got a sound bar thing up that's never popped up on my screen before.
Uh-oh.
I've never seen this. Never mind. All right, everybody. Let's see. I'll tell you what, before we get out, do show notes and shout outs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
You have a present.
We have a couple of super chats I wanted to get to. Thank you so much. First to Tony Stark for $5. Thank you so much, my friend. I really appreciate that. So here's a $5 to start things off right, my friend. Hail, Clobby and Briggs from us at Stark Tower and the pod at King Dolphin. Well, thank you so much to you and
Tony!
King Dolphin TV. Yes, and everyone watch King Dolphin TV. And the beautiful, wonderful, lovely 6'6". I love you, 6. So good to see you. She says, for 25, you're too kind. You're too generous, my dear. I love you. Yeah. She says, don't be upset, Clubby. We're all family, and we'll tough it out together.
Oh, I love
Thank you so much. Plus, just in case, I have ice cream sitting here. So I on standby. I got the ice cream on the standby.
We love you, 6. Thank you so much.
Another one. Tony Stark, you're too kind, buddy. I appreciate that. Another $5 to push the ship out of that asteroid field. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you. And D-Bud, thank you, D-Bud, for that. D-Bud says we have a member chat from Mike Carney, 2 months of member. Clobberanimo, can't even say Clobberanimo today. We love you. Well, love right back to you, my friend. Michael Carney, we really appreciate you. And really appreciate you all being here with. I hope I got all the names written down for our shout outs. I hope I didn't miss anybody, but I've been scattered all over.
Yeah, you got it. Good. You got it. You saw it. It's okay.
Shooter just donated, 5 memberships, my friend. So please, thank you, Shooter. You are too kind. Thank you so much, my friend. You're very generous of you. Please, everyone, if you're not a member already and you'd like to be, please avail yourself of those. Feel free, because Shooter is so generous to do that. Thank you, Shooter. Again, appreciate that. Friend.
While we're talking about memberships, if I could interject quickly here, I would just like to thank everyone who is supporting my new book on Patreon. So I'd like to send out thanks to my patron, Cardi, to Shooter, thank you so much, and to Chris Persia, I love you. Scuba Pete, I love you, thank you so much, and Larry, who has become a full backer of my new publication. It is incredibly generous of him. I love him very much, and of course, we can't forget my fan, Mark D with a C. So sending out love to those who have reached out to help an author publish the kind of stories they love. I love you guys and appreciate you so much.
Yep. Well, yes, indeed. Thank you all for that. Mr. Angel, thank you for that. I'll keep that in mind. My son may be able to, it may be fixing this thing next week. but I'll definitely keep that in mind for that offer for you. Thank you so much. Let's see. Yeah, and I want to thank, of course, shout out to the great Brandon, the anime guy, whose channel I was on this morning as a guest. I was honored to be a guest on there.
Yay.
And he, of course, he at the behest of his producer, the great my great friend Pat S, definitely promoted your book on there as well.
Oh, no way, you guys!
Oh yeah,
you guys are the sweetest. I love you, gentlemen. Thank you. I am in a league of extraordinary gentlemen. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much.
Yes, indeed. Well, we talked a little bit about it and promoted it and everything. And that, of course, Brandon is a great guy. I had a great time. And yeah, it was fun stuff. So let's see. All right, let's show notes or nothing in particular. It's, Monday night I will do on Monday night Mark C Comics Talk. I will review some random comic out of nowhere and just talk basic comic stuff, and then the usual shows throughout the week. Tuesdays and Thursdays on the Midnight Edge with the great Tom Connors and all that stuff on Midnight Edge After Dark, that is. And Wednesday night over there, I'll have my wild card show, and of course Thursday nights we will have the Clubhouse. The three of us, Raquel and Mark and myself. And oh yes. And Friday nights, I've been enjoying going on my buddy Dad Man Walking's channel, talking some NFL football at 7 p.m. Eastern, and of course, Friday nights with Nicholas and the gang, Nick Weiser and the gang there for the comic shop talk. So, and then Sunday Night Geekery with the great Mark D with a C. Anyway, let us do some shout outs, shall we?
Let's do it.
Let's what'd I do? This is all right. So it's time for some shout outs, then we'll get on to the beeswax, folks. Let's see here. All right. So first, as always, whether they're actually here at the moment or not, we'd like to shout out our fantastic wrench buddies because they do so much for us, because they're here on multiple nights when they can be and help me out when they don't have to do it. And I can't thank. I'll never be able to thank them enough. The great Eric K. LeBron's Wrencher. Hey, buddy.
Love you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for everything.
The Vindicator Wrench of the North, Chris Persia, my friend.
Chris, I love you. Thank you for the beautiful show poster tonight on Twitter, and for just working so hard behind the scenes out on social media, promoting this channel, all of these friendships, all of our projects. You are a true patron of our kind of art, and I just love you, Chris. And I know Clobby appreciates you so much. So sending out smooches for your whole face.
I don't have any smooches for your face.
No.
But it's manly hugs for sure, buddy.
Bro hug.
Yes, indeed. The great D. Bud Martin, the Wrench of Iron. What's up, buddy? And of course, the great Lord Thoth. Avon lives, long live the Legion, and of course, shout out to the lovely Lady Thoth.
That's right.
He's not here with us tonight, but he gets a shout out anyway. Clobber Times official artist and Cluboni master, Hungry Boy. Hungry for stuff. J-Man, the great Wrench Without Fear, my good buddy, and Earth B partner. Good to see you there, dude. That's, I think he popped in for a second there. Cal L, buddy, good to see you, man.
The real soup. Super
Wrench, and of course, Maddie's daddy.
Maddie's daddy.
Who I do believe is out there somewhere listening. The Mjolnir wrench wielder, and of course, I don't know if he's here or not, but Phantom Outsider, that old rascal. I'll tell you also, the pupper's here with a Polynesian minion.
You know what that means?
Yes, I do.
The pepperoni.
Mark. Well, I had to cough anyway, so I figured why waste it.
Look. You deserve shin kicks for that. That is not the response.
I had to cough anyway. What can I tell you? I hope I didn't miss anybody writing anybody down. So the rest of them are now let's see. I like to get everybody written down. We'd like to get everybody shouted out. You know what I'm saying? So here we go. Shooters here tonight.
Pew, 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 pew. And Shooter read the new story from my new book today, and he said he liked it. That makes me so happy.
Excellent. Well, fantasticness. Let's see who else we have up in here. Sandra and Raymond Feliciano, King Dolphin TV
King Dolphin TV.
in color. Tony Stark again, the aforementioned, because thank you again for those super chats.
An
Tony Stark makes
outstanding
good.
human being, and I just received a notification from Patreon that Tony Stark has become a full backer of my new book. So Tony, that means that I need to send you a copy of this book that's already published, and so I will get a hold of you privately to do that. Thank you so much for supporting my work. You're the bestest, baby.
Indeed, Tony Stark makes you feel he's a cool exec with a heart of steel.
Yes, this is true.
Lemon pie.
Lemon
there,
pie.
lemon pie. Still, it makes me think of that song, but it's called Cherry Pie. So, but still,
He's
won't do it.
a lemon pie.
Indeedishness. Here we go. Oh, Stuart Mitchell, old chap. Good to see you, my friend. Thank you for being here.
Dolly had braces.
Dolly had braces. Our new friend, Neon Knight. Hello there, Neon Knight. It's good to see you. Someone lives, someone from my neck of the woods. JT Kirk. What is up?
JT Kirk.
I can't say it like that.
I love them.
Classic Comics. What it up, CC?
Classic Comics. Classic Comics, boss, you should know, has been up since 4 o'clock this morning. I think 4 o'clock or 4:30 this morning. So he's dunsicles. He's a dunsicle. He has to go. He's done. Like done. So he's going to hang in as long as he can. Are you Captain Dunzel? He has to go to sleep now.
CC, are you Captain Dunzel? No. Good to see you, CC. Zathras.
Crap.
The Catman, aka DD Myers. Hello there, Catman.
Catman, dude, and his lovely wife. Mwah!
The master of all that is Limerick, Max Redstone.
Maximum Redstone.
Maximum one. Dave G Sound. Mr. Angel. Ooh, don't worry, I'm not going to sing the rest of that.
Chef!
Chef, the great producer extraordinaire, executive, Pat S. What's up, buddy?
Hey, Pat, thank you so much for doing that for me in producing
those
other shows. That's incredibly kind of you. And, you know, a lot of people are talking the talk about supporting indie artists, and few are walking the walk. And I'm very grateful for folks like you, for many of the people in the 735 Club who are out there backing new comic book artists, new comic storytellers, indie people who these big corporations should be hiring, but they're not interested in us. So it's amazing. And thank you so much.
Michael Beacom and Cassandra. What's up, Michael?
Beacums!
Shout out to Cassandra. Hope you're all doing wonderful over there. My new friend, the Common Nerd, got to hang out with him at our buddy Nick's show the other night. Hello there, the Common Nerd. What's up, buddy? I hope you're doing well. Aren't you of the Legion of Memers fame, or you know those guys anyway? That was the other. I'm sorry, the other gentleman. I'm sorry, I got that mixed up. He has, but the Common Nerd does have a channel. We just met last night. We got to hang out on Nick's show, but so I got that confused. My apologies there. The Common Nerd, you know I'm old, buddy. So, but anyway, welcome, sir. It's great to see you.
Yes, welcome. Nice to meet you.
Pleasant Valley Picker. What's up, PvP?
PvP.
The aforementioned lovely, beautiful, fantastic Six.
Hello,
I love
baby.
You Six. You Wolfie. Tyrell 72. What's up, old friend? Good to see you.
Tyrell. You know what that means? Tyrell's at work. And so we're going to give him his typical message, which is don't work too hard, work safe. I know you work in a warehouse, and I know you can't be in the chat with us, but I know you're listening. And so everyone here is waving hello. We all send our love to you, and we will see you at the end of the show. Work safe. We love you, honey.
Anano Moss, what is up?
Anonymous.
Good to see you, man.
Anonymous.
What's up, man? Welcome, sir. Good to see you. All right, that's all I have written down now. Anyone else who pops in, we will shout them out accordingly. But now it's time to get down to these episodes aren't going to review themselves, are they? By the way, a big shout out to all you lurkers out there. Anyone who's lurking, we really appreciate you watching on a rewatch. And I want to say this in case he does happen to watch on a rewatch. I don't know if he does or not. We haven't seen Enigmatic Drop Bear for a while. Just going to mention him, Shooter. That you mentioned him. ED, if you by chance hear this or see this or anyway, we love you, man. Whatever's going out there, look, you know, just do what you got to do. Don't think about us or anything.
Yep.
Don't worry about us. We're here for you no matter what. But we just wanted to shout you out and say hello. If you ever come back, don't be a stranger. Pop back in when you can. But I know you're dealing with all kind of stuff. I'm sure you are anyway. I don't know. But we just wanted to let you know if you are listening. Shout out to you, my friend. Drop us a line in the comments or something if you happen to hear this, and just tell us we just want to know you're okay.
Yeah, so. And I just want to echo and amplify that, and also give the 735ers a chance to send their prayers, their well wishes to ED. Lots of stuff going on down under. He is a beloved member of the 735 Club. So if you could throw up an ED in the chat, or if you pray, if you're somebody who has praise to a higher power, please do that for him and his family. And, we also welcome koala emojis. Anything that you would like to put in the chat, just to know, let Enigmatic Drop Bear know if he happens to watch this, that we are all thinking of him, that we miss him, that we're pulling for him, that we're sending good vibes, good thoughts, and also prayers and well wishes. So, Edie, we love you, honey.
Indeed, our friend. So, D-Bud Martin, thank you, buddy. He says we have a member chat from Anano Moss, member 2 months, from the CLOBBERIN level. Hail, Clobby, Briggs, and the great chat. Well, hail to you. Thank you so much, Anonymous. Appreciate you, buddy. So, for those unaware, just what we do here is pretty simple. A little over 2 years ago now, we started on the extraordinary journey, the voyage to review all of real Star Trek. And everyone knows real Star Trek means 66 through 05. Nothing else after that is real deal. And we started, of course, with the original series, and then continued on to the animated series, then the original crew films, Star Trek The Next Generation, and now we are nearing the end of season 4 of Star Trek Deep Space Nine. So we got a long way to go and a short time to get there. Actually, we got all the time in the world to get there. So we do about 4 episodes per week, unless we get toward the end of the week. See, next week, for example, we're only going to have 1 episode, but we're going to sum up the season. It'll be a shorter show. I've decided to do it that way since it's, since it's not the way we're going to do 5 tonight. So we'll do 4 tonight, 1 next week, and then we'll sum up the season and have a little fun, a little season wrap thingy, if you know what I'm saying. So, but tonight we have 4 more episodes for you, and I will now turn it over to my wonderful first officer, and she will explain what's going on. She'll basically we'll talk a little bit about the episode. She'll read a synopsis. We will talk about what we think of the episode, and then we'll pass it on to you, our wonderful chat, and you will say a few words about it. We'll all rate the shows and have a good time with it. So that's what we do here now. Number 1, take it away.
Yeah, the boss is right. I mean, this is just like going to a con and sitting in the eating area with all of the other Trekkies and just talking about different episodes. We don't plod through every single detail here and, put it up on the screen and pause and ruminate over it. Here, it's just like meeting with a room full of Trekkies. So it's great fun.
Also, we don't charge you $20 for a hot dog. So in that way, it's not like the con. But go ahead, sorry.
Yes, this is true. And it doesn't cost $40 to park.
Yes. So
Right?
your savings, the savings, or to quote from Galaxy Class by Grabthar's Hammer, what the savings?
Well, boss, before we go any further, we really love Michael Carney around here. I mean, he lurked here for a really long time, so he's not new. But when he came out of lurk mode and joined in the chat and became our friend, really discovered
Yes.
what a dynamic and wonderful person Michael Carney is. And he has called for the unfortunate Alan Moraine by using his member Waddy sticks. So there are Waddy sticks in the chat, and you know what that means, boss. He wants the Alamarine. Can we have the Alamarine for Michael Carney, boss?
Okay. Anything from Michael Carney.
Yeah. So yes, we know what we use the Waddy sticks here for multiple purposes, and they're super fun. So yeah, here we are. It's another Saturday night Star Trek, and the first thing I'm going to ask is for the boss to put the image of the text on here. So I come from publishing, editing and writing, and I vetted a text for this wonderful broadcast. Now, you're going to read a lot of stuff on IMDb. You're going to read a lot of stuff on Memory Alpha. Not only has it been polluted by the filth, but I think that it's very important for folks to realize that there is no one truth in Star Trek. It's a lot of people speaking through memoirs. It's a lot of stuff from these user-generated forms where it's rumors and it's factoids. Don't touch any of that stuff because most of it is crap. I mean, not all of it, but most of it. It's completely inaccurate. So I like, as an academic, I like original source material. That means that the author goes directly to the people who are involved with the show, and they're the producers, they're the actors, they're the writers, they're the teleplay people, and that's how they form the book. And I know that that's the way that this book has been put together because it is chiefly written by Terry J. Erdman. But the person riding second chair on this book is Paula M. Block. If ever you can get a Star Trek book written by Paula M. Block, you are getting original source material, original interviews and information straight from the horse's mouth, no secondhand news, none of that BS. So the book is called Star Trek Deep Space Nine Companion. It's difficult to get a hold of. I know there are some not so legal copies floating around in PDF on the internet, but you should know that I have vetted this text. It's a great text, but does have one problem. Terry J. Erdman talks so much about these episodes. I think Mark and I agreed that there were some episodes where he would go on for like 15 pages. And so it's not conducive to a podcast. It's not conducive to a show, a talk show, a radio talk show. And that's what this is. So unfortunately, because Paula has not done a book herself, I'm going to direct you to this book if you need facts, real facts on Deep Space Nine. But unfortunately, we have to use Wikipedia to read off the summary and then get into the meat of it. But usually we're using those wonderful vetted texts. So I hope that explains it for everyone. Ignore all of the user-generated crap out on the internet. It is polluted by the dirty diaper known as the filth, and it is also polluted by years and years and years of rumors and innuendo and stuff taken from memoirs that's out of context, and it's just a giant slurry of poop. So stay away from that. Get this book and stay tuned here because Clobby and I have been watching Star Trek, each of us, for more than 45 years. And we're going to apply our knowledge and stuff that we know is true. And you're going to have a great time. Waxing philosophical on the Trekkage here tonight. Going to be great fun.
Captain Infinity and beyond. What's
Captain
up, buddy?
Infinity!
So, are we ready for our first episode of the evening?
We are.
All right. So
Let's
that would
do
be Rules of Engagement is our first
Rules-
episode of the evening, folks.
Rules of Engagement is season 4, episode 18. I know this is an international stream, so I know that some of you are seeing that as episode 19. Don't panic, okay? The thing is that when DS9 was written and the way that DS9 was produced, there are multiple episodes that are not just 1, 2, 3. There are even some like 2 and 3 and 4, even 4 parters where they string along. So what's ended up happening is you have these part 1s, these part 2s. They're broken up differently on different streaming services around the world. So don't panic, okay? It could be 18, it could be 19. The number could be wacky. However, you can refer to the prod code. That's the production code, and that is 490 for Rules of Engagement. We all watched this episode for the very first time on April 8th, 1996. And now I'm going to turn to the plot. As it is written on Wikipedia, you should know that I'm going to be cold reading this. I don't pre-read any of this stuff, and neither does Clobby. We also never discuss the episodes before we get on air. We want you to have an organic experience here. This isn't scripted. We want to just hang out with you like real friends, like real Trekkies do here at the 735 Club. So the writing's not really great on Wikipedia, and I've never read it before. So if it gets rough, just remember, it's an extemporaneous read, and it will be over quickly. Let's do it! Worf commands the Defiant on an escort mission to guard Cardassian medical vessels. While under attack from Klingon raiders, a vessel decloaks in front of the Defiant. Expecting the vessel to be a Klingon warship, Worf orders it fired upon immediately without visual confirmation. However, the destroyed ship turns out to be a Klingon civilian transport, and the Klingon Empire wants Worf tried in their court. Admiral Talara presides over Worf's extradition hearing aboard Deep Space Nine. Captain Sisko serves as Worf's defense counsel. Ch'Pok, the advocate representing the Klingon Empire, argues that Worf attacked due to uncontrollable bloodlust and was motivated by seeking revenge against the Empire for his family's dishonor, rather than following proper rules of engagement. He calls Worf's friends and acquaintances to testify. Jadzia Dax testifies that in her experience, Worf is capable of restraining his bloodlust, but that he played a holosuite game before the mission in which he played the warrior who murders civilians. Quark testifies that Worf stated before the mission that he was hoping for an attack. The combat experienced Chief O'Brien says that he would not have given the order to fire if he had been in command. After Worf testifies that he would never attack an unarmed opponent, Ch'Pok baits Worf into attacking him, contradicting his claim in front of the Vulcan judge. In the end, Constable Odo's investigation uncovers evidence that the names of all 441 people who were reported, well, it's not people, it's Klingons, so you would have to say humanoids, who were reported to have died on the transport were the exact same names of the Klingons who were reported to have crashed on a distant planet 3 months prior to the battle. Sisko concludes that the entire incident was staged by the Empire to frame Worf for the purpose of smearing the Federation. Despite having no civilian deaths on his conscience, Worf admits that he did accept the mission assignment because he was hoping for vengeance against the Klingon Empire. Sisko reprimands Worf for accepting the mission for that purpose and for not following Starfleet regulations and identifying the vessel before firing upon it. But he tells him that he will make a fine captain one day. And that is all the collective internet has to say about rules of engagement. I'm going to turn it over to the captain now. Captain, my captain, mon capitaine, please tell me, what did you think of rules of engagement?
Well, first, I would like to say hello, welcome to Wendy, Trauma Warrior. Hello there, my dear. Good to see you. Yeah.
And Rob Altus.
And Rob Altus.
Yay!
Good to see you. Yes, sir. Been a while. I got my shipment from the on the prisoner toys, and I got the one coming from Big Bad Toys. It's being shipped as well. So the episode. Yeah, this is pretty much this is a very well written and very well crafted and well acted courtroom drama episode. The problem is, I mean, how many times are we going to have one of those in Star Trek? It's all. Look, this show gets bogged down in kind of old tropes sometimes. That really, do we really? I mean, it's filler in the sense that this episode doesn't serve a lot of purpose except for character building for Warp. I suppose it works there. Again, it's an interesting, well written drama piece for Deep Space Nine. So it's likable enough for those reasons. It's just not something that is. Once again, I'm becoming a broken record with the show. Now that we're breaking these down individually, it's okay. It's good, fairly well done stuff, but it's not what I necessarily always go to Star Trek for. But it's good. I don't know what more to say about it. It's well written. There are a lot of great character bits, great performances. Aside from that, it just doesn't really do a whole lot for me. I got to be honest with you.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't do a whole lot for me either.
Notes.
Okay, folks. This one. I have some notes here. It's important for me to say, especially if you're new here, that I have been rewatching Star Trek starting on January 1st, every single year since it was possible. So I watched the entire 735 in order. I also repeat. I double up because I watch the films during holidays in order. So that's my background. So if I seem a little bit different as far as being a Trekkie goes to you, that's probably why. I watch everything in linear order over and over and over again. So now that I've prefaced that, these are my notes. I take a pencil and a piece of paper and I write notes while I watch these episodes. And I got a bit on this one and I'll get through it real quick. In opening arguments, I am struck by two things. Why would a civilian vessel need to be cloaked? Freighters have cloaking devices. Number two, why is Sisko acting as Worf's attorney? Why wouldn't he have a JAG assigned to him? There are no extraordinary circumstances that prevent that. Previously in Star Trek, we have extraordinary circumstances which call upon captains to act as advocates and attorneys. No such extenuating circumstances exist here. Sisko says that DS9 doesn't get very many Klingon visitors. He says this to Chapok. This is news to the viewer and the Klingon kiosk or restaurant owner on the promenade. The Klingon chef Kaga, who prepares raw food and serenades his customers. We have seen him multiple times. Even when Quarks got shut down due to the union thing. Where did Kira go to eat? Went over to Kaga's. So this whole idea that they're not used to seeing Klingons on DS9 is complete horse hockey. Silly. I always find this episode rather silly. It's tantamount to saying that an American Airlines flight with 441 people on it would fly into a war zone directly in front of a bunch of fighter jets in a fiery dogfight. I don't buy it right from the opening statements. The opening statements are dumb. The premise of this entire story is dumb. And no Vulcanian would preside over this dumbness. Why did they do this dumbness? The decloaking part makes the whole scenario completely absurd. It's obviously crooked command again, and these are strained relations where crooked things have been done very recently. So the whole premise is absurd. Why is O'Brien's fruit salad always changing? It's weird because he is wearing a battle brooch when he's on the Defiant, but when he goes to court, he's wearing his open pip. They really need to just figure out what they're doing there. Why would Starfleet give Worf to the Klingons? There's no extradition treaty with the Klingons. That's not what's happening with them. As a matter of fact, the relations between Starfleet and the Klingons are extremely strained. This is a stupid request. Starfleet would punish Worf if they found him guilty, not extradite him to people who they are at war with, who have betrayed the Federation and also have the death penalty. And in many cases, the death penalty is automatic in the Klingon Empire, especially when there's a loss of honor. Remember, this is a society that says it's okay to do the Maktovar, right? You actually KILL your family member if they want to self-delete. And I hope I got all what I wanted to say there through the algorithm. Why would the Klingon advocate say that serving with Starfleet is traitorous? At one point, he actually says this in open court. This would be another crime punishable by death on Kronos. So why is he saying that? That's the most absurd thing ever. Serving with Starfleet isn't traitorous. So here he would be making another claim for the Klingon Empire to have him executed. So this is another stupid thing that Starfleet would never abide. Chapok was in contempt of court multiple times, and he was not corrected by the Vulcanian. Also, why is this particular trial so private? We have a single Starfleet admiral, and then we have a single Klingon advocate, and we have no JAGs whatsoever. I did say in my notes that the resolution is cool. So I like this whole idea that they took a downed a plane, we'll just say plane, right? So that people can conceptualize what I'm saying here. They take a catastrophic crash, and they take all those victims, and they try and blame it on the Federation. That's a beautiful idea. It's a brilliant idea. But I mean, completely crapped the bed, and then like crapped the bed some more, then rolled around in it, and then like wiped the crap on their face and possibly in their mouth in executing it. Why? Like, why?
Wow.
Like, this is so effing dumb that this episode always makes me angry, and I always fold my laundry during this episode. This is the episode where you go downstairs to check and see if the towels are dry.
Wow.
That's all I have to say.
My goodness.
Hi, Leia Rose.
Well said. Hey, Leia Rose, lovely to see you. It's great to see you here. Also, Captain James T. Skywalker, everybody. And Mega Reacts. I don't think we've seen you here before, but welcome to Clobbering Times. Wow, that's a scathing review. I love it. I love the scathing review. Look, whether I ever agree or not, everyone, you got to understand something. It's not about agreeing or disagreeing, because I don't disagree with much of what Raquel said, but whether I agree or not is always beside the point. The scathing reviews are often more entertaining than the episodes themselves. For me.
And no, Shooter, I didn't say
the way she does it.
Shooter, I didn't mean to say that they're at war, but basically they kind of are, right? The Federation isn't officially at war with the Klingons, but the way that the Klingons have been behaving by like putting all of those digital claymores, like they did landmine the entire area around the station, which they're not allowed to do. And remember, Starfleet runs DS9, and that's in conjunction with Bajor. So the relationship is so strained that they are basically on the verge of war. They're playing this sort of cat and mouse game with the Klingons. And so just this whole idea that they would hand Worf over after Worf doing the right thing when it came to the Klingon High Council is just preposterous. And it's very important for people to understand that when I say this stuff, I'm not directing it at the show. I'm directing it at the people who are writing it. So we have Bradley Thompson and we have David Weddle, who have written a story here. And I bet you the short story was pretty good. And then we have Ronald D. Moore, who comes along and he turns it into a teleplay. And it just the way that the teleplay transpires, it's just, you know, I've been watching lots of Navy SEAL or SEAL team or whatever it's called. I've been watching lots of military stuff with my husband. It's not my bag, but it's fortified even more of the illogical crap that is in this episode. And the main thing is the JAG officer thing and all of the other trappings of it. Anyway, I think it's complete and utter shite. It's a terrible, terrible episode. I don't like it.
Oh, geez. All right. Well, So, well, then I will ask for your rating of Rules of Engagement. We'll get this one over with quick. What is your rating?
It's a D-. If I was on Sunwing, I don't know if you have that in the world where you live, but I usually travel to the Caribbean and other warm and glorious places. When I'm traveling on Sunwing and I'm aboard a Sunwing, I don't expect to find myself in a dogfight with military jets. This is the dumbest premise ever. And Ronald D. Moore and Bradley Thompson and David Weddell, they deserve shin kicks for this complete and utter shite. No one would believe this, and the Federation and Starfleet would never prosecute someone for this. It's a predictable ending. We know what's going to happen because the entire premise is absolutely preposterous if you have more than a double-digit IQ.
Wow. Okay, well, there you go. I love it. I reserve my really low ratings for episodes that piss me off. So that's why I understand and respect why you gave it such a low rating, because it did piss you off. Doesn't piss me off when it comes to courtroom drama. Look, someone mentioned, was it a Court Martial earlier? Court Martial is one of my all-time favorite episodes of the original series.
Oh,
the
great.
Drumhead was a top-notch. I thought a top-notch drama for TNG.
Decent.
This is trying to be that, I guess, and it fails at that for sure. But it doesn't. Well, don't worry, you'll see what angers me soon. I get angry just like there are episodes that anger me as well, and so I reserve my really bad ratings for those. This one, I just kind of. Again, I still think some of the character interaction was pretty good because these actors are so good. They can make anything at least palpable to watch. So I didn't have a bad time. But to be honest, I didn't think of a lot of things that Raquel did. And now everything I can't disagree with one thing she said. Nevertheless, I'll rate it the way I intended to from the beginning, which I have it as a C- because you just don't really. I guess it's not, like I said at the outset here, it's not really what I care about with Star Trek. And again, Court Martial is an episode, one of the few episodes of the original series that doesn't focus 100, all the way on science fiction,
Mhm.
though it has science fiction elements to the story. The study is just a brilliant and wonderful episode because you could do great character episodes. But the original series, that's why there are episodes of that are the occasional character episode, and it's fine because most of them were very deep steeped in science fiction and ideas. This show rarely deals in science fiction and science fiction ideas and concepts, or sometimes they're just on the periphery a little bit. In this case, they deviate from that sort of thing too often for me, and so it's just, but it doesn't piss me off or make me angry like it does you. So I give it a C. Now
I think that this would make Gene Roddenberry upset because it treats
Maybe.
the viewer like they're an idiot because it's just the premise of it is absolutely ridiculous. And I know that there are people who are formulating replies to argue semantics in the chat, but it's a step too far. Obviously, Starfleet wouldn't even be going to a shipping lane and getting into a massive dogfight if there were civilians there. So it's just dumb. And you can tell that the Klingon Empire is up to no good. And remember, these authors, they can write anything they want. And they chose to write this. It's complete and utter crap. I can't believe it. Anyway, I'm not going to talk.
Well, I want to ask our wonderful chat now. So if you could all start giving us your reviews. The word is given for you to give us a few. Remember, we got a bunch of people that get more people. So hello there, Michelle. Good to see you. And Simply Steve, hello there. If you can, as briefly as you can, you don't have to cut it down too much, but definitely and make sure you leave some space for. We have a lot of comments coming in, and go ahead with that, and I will bring us some Max Redstone entertainment.
Maximum Redstone.
Hang on one second. Hey, Michelle. Good to see you.
Hi, Michelle.
Yeah. Let's see here. All right. Okay, everyone. For those who are new to this, we have a great friend in the chat with us, of course, who hangs out with us, been good friends for a long time, Max Redstone. And he, excuse me, he is a brilliant lyricist, a limerick writer as well. Lyricist, is that a proper word? I don't know. Lyricist is the word. I just don't know if it applies here, but he's great at, how about he's great at limericks? Does that work? Keep it simple, stupid, like I should. Max. Let's see here. I never know if I'm being heard because I know you had to turn your mic off. So
it's because it becomes very clicky because there's so many of them. If it's
I
like
got
20 or 30 posts, it's like click, 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 click.
No, it's cool. I got used to that when it's quiet. So, all right. Rules of Engagement, lyrics by Max Redstone. Here we go. Worf is said to be quite the destroyer, a Klingon now defended by his employer. But the most difficult shame, amidst battling Jemadar and Cardassian Flame, is that 2372, the most feared predator, is still a good lawyer. In 23, I forgot the word. You forget one word and you ruin the limerick, so I'm going to do it again really quickly. Worf is said to be quite the destroyer, a Klingon now defended by his employer. But the most difficult shame, amidst battling Jemadar and Cardassian Flame, is that in 2372, the most feared predator is still a good lawyer. Or you could have just said, is there such thing as a good lawyer? I guess. Thank you so much, Max. Fantastic work as always. And thank you, Michael Beacom, for that super chat. You're too kind, buddy. I appreciate that. He says, actually, Raquel, they are bashing this on a real incident. They're basing this. I can't read. Let me pull the stupid screen closer. I got it. My screen's way back, folks. Sorry. There we go. Okay. Basing this on a real incident, Iran Air Flight 655 shot down by the missile cruiser USS Vincennes. I remember that. On July 3, 1988, over the Strait of Hormuz, killing all 290 people on board. I do remember that.
Well, but it's not the same, because in the vastness of space, why would the cloaked ship decloak directly in front of a Starfleet vessel that is in a serious dogfight? So it's not the same. Because, like I said in my notes, this idea of adding the cloak and the decloak makes it completely nuts. It makes it really dumb. I actually would have supported this if it would have been like that. If it would have had some verisimilitude. I hate saying that word. It's such a mouthful. If it would have had some realism, if you would have felt like it was real, because that is something that can be very scary when you're traveling to a place that may have seen war or there is strife in the region. And so, you're trepidatious about traveling there, and you could fall into big trouble. But that's not what's happened here. In all of the vastness of space, this civilian vessel decloaks inside of the circle of this very, very tight dogfight, and just dematerializes there. It's the Klingons playing something rough and dirty. It. Everyone knows it, and we know how the end of the show will turn out. So that is the basis for what I've said.
The Catman, aka Dee Meyer, says, Clubby, thought it was okay. Thought I was watching that Law and Order instead of DS9, but after a few minutes of watching it, I realized it was DS9. I give it a C for drama and a D for a D plus for a DS9 episode. Well, thank you so much there, Catman. We appreciate you. Wendy Trauma Warrior says, D. I can't say anything funnier than Raquel on this one. The laundry folding episode sums it up for me.
Right?
We love those laundry folding episodes.
Yeah, it's like, are the towels dry? I'll be right back. Let me go check the towels.
Mr. Angel says, FFF and more F. Klingons going fully Machiavelli on Worf. No honor in that. Nope. Good point. That's a filthy Cardassian move, unworthy for the Klingon. Kill it with fire. Fire Wesley torpedoes. So a very, very salient point. Mr.
I
Angel.
agree with him.
Klingons,
I totally
pulling
agree.
Cardassian sliminess like that. Yeah,
and remember, on Earth, it's a utopia. it's a utopia. Why would they extradite somebody who they knew they were going to execute? Or even send down into the mines, the dilithium mines. It just doesn't make any sense. Starfleet would not do that. Starfleet would keep Worf themselves. They would launch a full investigation themselves. Starfleet would do the investigation, and Worf would be imprisoned on Earth or rehabilitated somehow. But this whole idea that he would be extradited to Kronos
really
is complete
part.
and utter shite. It's
That's
just dumb.
That's the worst part. That really makes no sense. JT Kirk says D-. The clumsy, histrionic, and risible gaffes, Oxford comma, in legal procedure act as a mallet beating the drumhead on my temples. Worf and Cisco wear TNG dress uniforms, not DS9 dress uniform. True that. That's true. What was the deal with that?
I don't know. And they got his brooch wrong and then gave him open pip. So he had open pip in the courtroom, but in all of the footage from the dog fight, and even him on the bridge, he had his brooch on, his chief brooch, which looks entirely different than the open pip.
Yeah. Well, Zathra says C+, one of 867. Denny Crane versus Worf. Okay, Denny Crane. See, Zathras can steal from another network. Take that, Paramount. Well done. I think Catman has another one for some reason. What's your other one here, Catman? What you got more to say? Well, I thought it was it's the same one. We did it twice. I'm with Raquel. Okay. That's the same one, though, right?
It might be. It
was twice. It was put in there twice. Yeah, no biggie.
Oh, good.
It was just impossible, really.
Okay.
That was no. I think it was the same one. Anyway, the great Lord Thoth says D-. This is an awful app from a military perspective.
Yeah. I
dislike all of the legal wrangling that makes no sense throughout this episode. Worf did what he did based on his instincts to save his crew. There you go. That is another good part. So our good buddy Kal-El says B-. This episode of Law and Order DS9 was a pretty good courtroom drama with all the twists and turns that the story revealed as it progressed. Cisco does an admirable job in his task of defending Worf while simultaneously trying to get to the truth of what really happened. Worf did show remarkable restraint during the trial until he was provoked by Ch'Pok. However, that's another thing. You know, Worf's impulsive and all that stuff. And I'm not so sure I buy into Worf doing that in a courtroom. I mean, I think he would have just made us. I mean, I think it's a stretch in the courtroom like that in front with all what was going on. He had to know that the guy was baiting him. He's been around humans who try that crap at him all the time. So I don't know. That didn't really feel all that right, even for Worf, even for a Klingon. Ended up serving him well in terms of character progression as Worf realized certain truths about his motivations during the mission. Upon further reflection at the end, the testimony of the... Oh, hang on. There we go. Witnesses added the appropriate amount of tension as the case against Worf was built, and even Cisco worried that Worf might have to be extradited to the Klingon Empire. This was essentially a combination of a courtroom drama with an element of mystery, but was done well enough to be entertaining while showing Worf's progress as a character with its satisfying ending. Alrighty.
Good one.
Well done, sir. Let's see. Simply Steve says D-. Dipping into the Klingon well too much here. Where's the Romulans in Deep Space Nine? Well, there you go.
Yeah, the duplicity. Yes, it is uncharacteristic. And that is that Romulan-esque duplicity. I love that comment. Love it.
Yeah, absolutely. Indeed. Shooter says B+, courtroom drama again, but I like this one. Well acted and good drama. Familiar but different enough. Different post Raquel setup. But still fun to watch. Post Raquel setup. Poor, but still fun to watch. Okay, let's see. I got you. Let's see. Well, good for the episode. I don't buy Worf's outburst.
Me
Oh,
neither.
okay, yeah, me either. I can't remember him acting like this before. I like
Me
how
neither.
Quark confused Morn and Julian. Yeah, does Quark consider the two as similar? I don't know. Yeah, that was funny.
Great comments.
Indeed, it's always. Michael Beacom says C plus, page 322. Take a real life incident, Persian Gulf airliner, retread some Hollywood ideas, Rashomon flashback scene from Clockers, put it in a blender, and out came this episode. Get the wrong director, LeVar Burton again. Oh, wow. Using the wrong inspiration, page 322. I mean, excuse me, 323. To prep LeVar started let's see. Okay, sorry. Started viewing a lot of episodes of LA Law. He says, smiling, "Hey, LeVar, how about reading some Asimov?"
Yes, heck yes, Michael Beacom. What a great comment.
And here we are. Hate to say it, but if they wanted a legal app, they should have gotten Melissa Snodgrass, page 323. Bear says they focused too much on structure, so it didn't work. I agree.
Oh,
And
so they admit that
so do I.
episode is a stinkeroonie.
Didn't
Okay,
work.
well, that's good.
Oh, wow.
Thank you so much, Michael Beacom.
At least
And
they-
everyone, if you're new around here, Michael Beacom has the actual text, like the good one. He has the Erdman, Terry J. Erdman text. And that's it, what you're
Yes.
seeing there is his in-text citation, which I totally love. Love.
Yes, he's reading from the Deep Space Nine companion. That's those when you see those page numbers for those, as we mentioned at the beginning of the show. If anyone joined late, he is referring to that publication. So
Love it.
That book. Phantom Outsider says D. Although it would have been better if they said they were unarmed. Worf channeling Clint Eastwood should have said they were Klingons. They should have armed themselves. He's, of course, referring to the movie Unforgiven. Paraphrasing it, of course. Also, where are the Organians? The Organians, this kind of mischief should at least have been brought to their attention as Klingons. Visfed is no. They have enforced before. They never went back to talking about Organians until like Enterprise. I mean, they've never ever even considered the Organians after Errand of Mercy. Michael
Boss,
Beacom also had.
Before you get into
said-
Michael Beacom's
Yes.
made some great comments tonight, but guess who's here? Somebody who has fully backed my book and
Who?
is just always here to support this whole community, everyone's channels and shows, painters, comic book makers, book writers. It's Larry! Thank you, Larry, for everything that you've done for me. I
knew
love
you
you
were
very
talking about
much.
Larry.
Welcome to the show. I hope you have
Hey,
a
buddy.
wonderful time tonight. If there's anything you need, please let me know.
Indeed. Clementine says, in real life, it is pretty clear they filled a plane full of dead people and deliberately charged the missile cruiser, forcing it to fire so they could go, "You killed civilians." Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
yep.
Absolutely.
So it's neat, hey, how Michael Beacom
I'm
thinks the same thing I think. It's a great idea. It's just like the whole setup of it is just, it sucks. Like poop diapers, like poopy, smearing poop, finger painting in your own poop kind of writing. And I'm glad Bear admitted it.
Well, I get this next one. Could you see Mr. Angel? I'm looking at one. He has it from 1002, and it says 2 of 2, but I don't see anything before that by him.
What? I will
Yeah,
go
but
and
that and that's
find
at
it.
1002. So I'm not
And go
sure.
find it.
But while you're doing that, I will. The great Eric K says C. I think every person in Starfleet gets 4 years of legal training. Do they even have advocates anymore? Well, they did in The Measure of a Man. No, they had a Jag, right?
Yeah, where's the Jag?
Always good at son of the chief. He has been in a lot of battles. Silly. Yes, silly indeed.
Boss.
Excuse me. So Sandra. Yes.
Boss, I think that Chef's gonna have to repost it because it
Yes.
looks like it's been vaporized. I'm looking for it right now, but I don't see it, boss. Not in the window you're describing.
Man.
I'll keep looking, but it might not be here.
Sorry,
so
Chef,
hold on,
but
okay?
Okay. Gotcha. You starred 2 of 2, so unless there's some kind of accident. All right, unless there wasn't one, he could let us know, Chef. Sandra says D. Raquel is right. The event was contrived. It was like the Klingons were deliberately baiting the Federation. If they can make the Federation leave them alone, they could smuggle weapons with impunity. Yes. Again, yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Sandra.
Yes.
Neon Knight says, I rate the same as Raquel. Thank you, Neon Knight. Appreciate that. Raymond also coming in with a D. Raymond Feliciano says D, a very poor version of the court-martial trope, a very transparent ploy. Sorry, that was me muting because I hit these coughing and sneezing fits. I'm sorry, everyone. The actors couldn't save this, says Raymond. King Dolphin TV. Yeah, buddy. I hear you, man. Absolutely. The great Max Redstone says D+. This could have been a great way to build Worf's character in exploring his strife of serving Starfleet while the Federation is at war with the Klingons and the burdens of command in wartime.
Yeah.
Sadly, the best dramatic elements of this episode are subsumed by the fact that this isn't Boston legal. The context can't be ignored. This junk belongs at the Federation scrapyard on Kalar 2. Or is it Qualar 2? Qualar 2, sorry. Hell yeah, Max.
You want to go and check your start tab now, please, boss?
Okay.
Go check your start tab now, because I think you actually got that one already.
Oh, we did. That here's what happened, Mr. Angel. I forgot already. That you since the other one didn't say 1 of 2, I just didn't even look for a second one.
I got your back, Chef. I got your back, Chef.
But you see what I mean?
Yep, I do see what you mean. I didn't know there was going
to be a second one.
I know, honey.
So I have to know that. I'm just saying, everyone. No, just letting everyone know. I have to know there's going to be a second one for me to look for it.
Yeah, and I'm looking for Michael Carney's as well. No, Michael Carney says, "Do you have mine, Beth?" Ooh, I got it. Ooh. Got it.
Cavicino, Caviman Shea. Good to see you. Hey, Cavicino's here. So where's that? Where? Oh, you put that one up there, right?
Everything is all organized now, boss. Just stay on your start tab and you're good to go.
Okay, Mr. Angel. Then, and his second one was R.M. Briggs. By the way, I can imagine the need for cloaked freighters as a support for the battlefront. War is all about logistics. Okay.
That's a good point.
All righty. Wolfie. Hey, Wolfie says C-. This Klingon lawyer slightly reminds me of the ambassador from Star Trek, Star Trek 4. That was John Shuck, and Star Trek 6. That was Michael Dorn. The Klingons sure can play politics and will say anything to push their agenda. We deny nothing. Yes, according. Let's see here.
Yeah, annoying.
Then Kirk goes unpunished. All right, so moves the plot along for how shady Gowron really is. Yes. After Worf gifted him the Chancellor chair and got his honor back, around and takes it again. That's always that aggravates me, to be honest. That was fault to me. All of that was phony drama, considering what Worf and Picard did for Galad.
Yes, that's right.
It doesn't work for me. I think
It's
asinine.
incredulous.
They took the chief's stripes away for a dress uniform. Indeed,
I was
they
right.
took the
I
chief's
was
stripes
right.
away for a dress uniform. Wardrobe fail.
See, I'm learning from
Wardrobe
all of my
fail
friends
indeed.
in the military, and I'm learning from watching these military shows with my husband. I knew it was wrong that he had the brooch and then had the open pip.
Shooter says, "Damn, I may need to lower my
Love
rating."
you, Shooter.
Michael Beacom says,
Yeah, I loved
what blows
this
me away
comment.
is how candid they are. They do realize that this is going to be published, right? Published and read, right? Well, published for sure, yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, Michael Beacom, that's exactly why I always choose Paula M. Block's books. I noticed from the very beginning, from the TOS book, that she would go head to head with the people who were involved with the comments they made to her directly. So she didn't mess around. When they were super racist against Irish people, she jumped on top of them and said, you know, like, why are you doing that? Like, why is this your topic? And things like that. So I quickly learned that she can extract comments from these folks, and then she doesn't gloss them over or romanticize them. She shows what she thinks and what they actually say without, you know, polluting it with schmooze. So I love your comment, and it exemplifies why I choose Paula M. Block when I choose to talk about Star Trek, when we're talking about evidence, and you have to know that the evidence is real. So love the comment.
Cavatino Cavaminche says, grade C, if Worf's behavior at the helm of the little ship does not fit, you must acquit. Nice one there. Michael Carney says, D minus. Great acting, but terrible writing. The Klingon plan sucks. And a transport with a cloaking device, really? In a war zone? Like Raquel said, no Jag? Really, writers? Episode written by dumbasses.
Michael,
well, there you go. So there we go. I don't know if our chief engineers, when he pops in, if he wants to add a review later, because I think he's going to be here later. Sorry about the Giants, buddy, if you're listening. But don't worry about it.
Larry,
just pop that in later.
And Larry is going into lurk mode, folks, so he's not ignoring you, but he's listening in the car on his way to work. So everyone, wave goodbye to Larry now. He can't talk back, but it's not because he's ignoring you. It's because he's listening in as he drives to work. Have a safe ride to work. Have a wonderful day at work. We love you very much. Mwah. Good night, Larry.
Good night, sir. I appreciate you being here. And thanks for all you do, buddy. Okay, we'll go ahead and move on to our next episode. How about that?
Let's do it, boss.
The next episode is Shattered Mirror.
Oh, Shattered Mirror. Okay, I have it as
Isn't
Hard
right?
Time.
Oh, we can do that next
time.
if you want. I don't care. Okay.
It doesn't matter to me. They're actually both marked episode 19, and we get a prod code for Hard Time as 491, and Shattered Mirror a prod code for 492. So we can go in any direction you want.
So let's just do Hard Time. Then we'll go ahead and knock that one out.
All right, let's delete. Hard Time is season 4, episode 19. It is prod code 491, but you should know that I found conflicting evidence on different types of streaming services in different countries. So this episode is also marked as 18. So if you feel confused about all of this, don't. It's just all this international streaming. Plus, it's the fact that different people bust up the episodes differently. We all watched this for the very first time on April 15th, 1996. I'm going to be reading extemporaneously. That means I didn't pre-read from Wikipedia, user-generated encyclopedia. Hard Time. I'm going to read the summary. Chief O'Brien is unjustly convicted of espionage on the planet Argratha. Instead of incarcerating convicts, the Argrathi, a correctional facility, implants them with memories of years of imprisonment in a few hours of actual time. O'Brien experiences 20 years in prison before his fellow officers can extract him from the situation. On returning to Deep Space Nine, O'Brien tries to adjust back to life on board the station, but his experiences while imprisoned still trouble him. Although he tells Dr. Bashir that he was alone in prison, flashbacks reveal to the audience that he had a cellmate, Ichar, who taught him how to survive while incarcerated. He begins to exhibit habitual behaviors that he picked up while incarcerated, such as hoarding food, sleeping on the floor instead of his bed. He begins to experience hallucinations of Ichar. Over time, O'Brien becomes increasingly irritable and reclusive. He has an altercation with Bashir and assaults Quark when he has to wait to be served at Quark's bar. Captain Sisko later relieves O'Brien of duty, placing him on medical leave and ordering him to attend the counseling sessions that he has been avoiding. After he returns to his quarters, he almost hits his daughter Molly, when she tries to get his attention. He flees to the cargo bay and starts tearing the place apart. Finding a weapons locker, he sets a phaser on maximum, preparing to self-delete. Bashir follows O'Brien and finds him just in time. O'Brien tells Bashir how he killed Ichar over a few pieces of bread that Ichar was saving for both of them, and that the guild has been eating away, did you have to use eating away, at his conscience. Who, like, that person, that's got to be more than a shin kick. That has to be some type of Hollywood 1920s black and white movie slap, right? Although I'm not advocating any kind of violence. Welcome, Vic Fontaine.
Victor Fontaine, hey there. Welcome.
O'Brien is convinced that he's an animal, but Bashir tells him that if he truly were, he would have felt no regret for killing Ichar, and so O'Brien is still human deep down inside. Bashir ultimately prescribes a new course of heavy treatment, and soon O'Brien is on the way to recovery. And that is all the collective internet has to say about Hard Time. I'm going to throw it over to the captain. Captain, my captain, mon capitaine, please tell me, what did you think of Hard Time?
I actually love this episode and think it's one of my favorites. Because this is Star Trek to me, folks. We're getting back to the basics. You have a fascinating science fiction concept, and you deal with it in a subtle, intelligent and way. Yes, do they beat up on O'Brien a lot on the show? That's one. Coleman Meaney is just terrific all the time, and he could take it. I love that he could take the pounding. And this is a wonderful piece of drama. I mean, this man gets put through this horrible, really just evil kind of punishment. It's worse. I mean, that this society's convinced itself is they're really doing it for their own convenience, so they don't have any money on the penal system. They just use their technology, and it's still brutal. And I just love the performance here. Again, he comes out. How's he supposed to deal with this situation when he feels like he'll always that. And again, I know they just after this episode they just push it. You never think about it again. They never mention it again. But in this episode is so well done. A great performance by Meaney, a great idea, great concept, and it's some of the best science fiction can to really rip your guts out, and because that idea is just so potent and so scary, and also it's so, to me, that's so Gene Roddenberry, and it's a little Patrick McGowan too, if you think about it, because it's talking about how we punish people, and what are punishments like, and it's dealing with the repercussions of punishing people with a higher technology that we don't have today. That's pure Star Trek. It's pure Prisoner, really, as well.
Yes.
And it just works on every single level. This is one of my favorite episodes of the show. I think it's brilliant and powerful. I love it.
Yeah, I agree. I 1000% agree.
Yeah, thank you. What are your notes on that one?
Okay, I have some pretty serious notes because, this isn't just science fiction. This is the actual futurism that Gene Roddenberry absolutely loved. So here I would just like to say that Alexander, I thought Alexander Siddig directed this, but Wikipedia is saying that
I
it's
think so. No, Singer.
Alexander. Yeah, Singer. It's not Singer. It's Alexander
Singer?
Siddig.
Not,
Yeah. Anyway, the story
he
is
did.
written by.
So he did direct this one.
I believe so, yeah. So the story is written. This is the short story. It is written by Daniel Keyes Moran and Lynn Barker, and the teleplay. So that's turning that short story into something for celluloid was Robert Hewitt Wolfe. So I just want to say now, what a brilliant story this was by Daniel Keyes Moran and Lynn Barker, and I'd like to thank Robert Hewitt Wolfe for not getting in the way of a good story. This is something Gene Roddenberry would have loved. I just finished reading Homo Deus, which is Latin. I hate when people use dead languages. It's extremely pretentious, which just means like a human god by Dr. Harari, the Oxford professor. And he's getting into this futurism and into this idea of what's happening in this exact episode. And on top of me just finishing that, I just started the Kaku book, Physics of the Future. So I just love this. And now I'm going to get into my notes. But it's very important for people to realize this is not science fiction. This is futurism. It's got some science fiction in it, but this is coming, folks. It's coming to a theater near you. And by theater,
Right.
I mean your brain. Okay, this is supremely delicious science fiction. This is brilliant. It is brilliant. This idea of implanted memories as punishment instead of costly incarceration is futurism. It is divine. It is divine. You are editing the brain, directly brain editing, and it is going to be a reality. It digs into trauma and the effect of trauma on people, and it also digs into PTSD, so post-traumatic stress disorder. A small flaw is that Beverly Crusher regularly preened memories, specific and general ones. Also, Miles could get help from a Vulcan to help him forget. You know, I don't know, like I'm a TOSer, everyone knows that. So in Requiem for Methuselah, Kirk's memory is preened clean by Spock, who simply walks over to his devastated friend and says, forget. And Reyna is gone from his memory. So we did. That's one small flaw, but remember, I'm a science fiction author, so if I were in this writer's room, I would be like, "That's a stinkeroonie. We need a sentence to cover that up." Anyways, like that they use some type of technology that could not be erased or something like that. All it takes is one line, folks. Keiko is finally kind to Miles, but then she's cruel again once she's laughing at him because he's hiding food. She would know this. This would be one of the results of his torture and captivity because she was briefed on it by Dr. Bashir. So it's weird. The sand thing is absolutely beautiful.
I don't know if you knew about that though.
Yeah, but she's a botanist. Like, how dumb is she? So what I love about the sand thing is this idea that you're drawing hope from something so temporary. You're drawing hope from something that's ephemeral. So this is a profound statement about the episode. This is these two authors engaging with this idea that the piece is ephemeral. The substrate is ephemeral. So nothing here is concrete. That short bit of respite, that tiny little reprieve, that little bit of solace is as ephemeral as the substrate. And in so doing, this is extremely cerebral. This is a profound moment that is absolutely beautiful, and it must be recognized for its cerebral content. Gene would have loved the talking through the shell shock, as they would say in Gene's day. Gene was one of the very early proponents of helping people with shell shock, helping people to go and get therapy. He felt like we would be better people if we reached out and talked to folks about our inner pain. So Gene would love this. The HR storyline is a triumph of science fiction writing. Here we see a blending of psychology, which is this trauma, this PTSD, this all of these symptoms that go on with psychology, and hard science fiction. Trauma destroys families, especially for servicemen and servicewomen. We should all take a second here in this very quick show to mention what trauma does to our servicemen and our servicewomen. Then we start to get into what our servicemen and our servicewomen deal with, and that is this idea of self-deletion, having a short temper when you don't mean to, being angry when you don't want to be angry, being frustrated when you don't want to be frustrated, and certainly sensory overload. These are horrible symptoms that physically and psychologically overwhelm the subject. So think about your servicemen and your servicewomen, whatever country you're in. Cole Meany is excellent. He is simply, absolutely effing excellent in this episode. Miles killed HR. The trouble with editing his brain. Miles was curious about engineering and wound up a murderer. This is a very profound thing to do by these authors, because they're admitting that they would do this sick thing, that they would harm someone for such a trivial crime in order to keep that person from ever committing a crime again. So we go from him snooping around where he isn't supposed to be and looking at engineering techniques to being a murderer. They planned that. They did that. They video gamed his brain, and I think it's deranged. And so we see the authors here making a statement about how dangerous this futurism, this brain editing will and could be. And I think that that's wonderful. HR wasn't real. This is a heinous crime against Miles. So the bigger, badder, worse villain here is not Miles for killing HR in a fit of rage and panic when he's under this extremely traumatic circumstance. It's the fact that HR isn't even real. And so for that, we know that these people, this planet, they're sickos. And it's sadistic and wrong what they've done to him for such a trivial crime. And that's all I have to say about this episode.
Very well said. It's I think you talked about how Gene would have loved it, and I totally agree. I think especially the bit at the end when he's about to do what he's about to do with the phaser, and when Bashir talks him down and basically tells him, well, first of all, when Miles says, I thought I was evolved. I thought we think we're evolved and stuff like that, but then I do this.
Yeah.
And he rightly points out, yeah, but an animal wouldn't even think twice about it. That's the difference. If you do, you might do something horrible like that, but then it's killing you so much so that you want to do this. Mm-hmm. And that's because you're a good man who, did something who didn't really do something bad, but thinks you did something bad because it was in his head. It's just, that's the kind of in concept that you could only tell with a science fiction show or book.
It's true.
Story or whatever. True. And that's one of the things one of the reasons why so many of us love science fiction is because you can explore ideas like this. Star Trek's about exploration and exploring ideas and concepts. And that's why it's such a great format for wonderful storytelling. And I think you're exactly right. Gene Roddenberry would have really loved this story. And it's brilliantly done. Just amazing stuff. And yes, they probably could have come up with some sort of way when later down the road he could have used Vulcans or so. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, I saw that. We saw that. Everyone. I was going to get to that in a minute. That
Great.
It was a guy named Singer, not Siddig.
It is Singer. Okay.
Yes.
Well, I have bad vision, and it flies by so quickly, and I'm so happy that. Yeah, but I thought it was Siddig.
I remember seeing that as well, and thinking Siddig for a second. The first time I saw it, like, oh, did he just write that one? And then I think the last time I got a glance the other day when I was watching it again and saw, oh, Singer maybe, but it does go by lightning fast. So anyway, it's just a beautiful episode in every single way because it does. Like I said, the highest compliment you could ever pay an episode of any of the other Treks aside from the original series. So now that's Star Trek. For example, when we're talking about TNG, I don't care if it's TNG, DS9, Voyager, or Enterprise, when you say, you know what, that is Star Trek. That's the highest compliment you can ever pay any episode of the other show, the spinoff shows. And this one is pure Star Trek and a delight. So what is your rating of Hard Time?
Well, I'll get to that in a second. Mr. Angel says Latin is not a dead language for medical, history, and law students. I'm glad to have had it in school. Nothing pretentious in that, in my humble opinion. Sorry. Well, it's also for rhetoric students and for many people who study many different subjects. But I will let you know now, Chef, that Latin is a dead language. It is officially a dead language. Each language has a status in the world, judged by how many books are in print and how many people are speaking it, and how many people are reading it, and how many people are fluent in it. And so there are many languages that are dead languages, and ones that are in rapid use and significant use every day. But people who truly speak Latin, the last time I checked with Cambridge University, it's fewer than 10,000 speakers. So, it is officially a dead language. So, I mean, nothing against Latin, but I also think that it's very important not to play with words and use elevated diction unless you want to get into what those things are. And I also think that it has turned into sort of an instrument of abuse on YouTube, because we have over 6,000 languages in our world today. And I see a lot of castigating and a lot of incorrect correcting, like when we see machina or machina and things like that. So I think it's a way of sort of pushing people back and making yourself seem as though you have this knowledge others don't have. So that is my gripe with Latin. Pretending that you speak it when only fewer than 10,000 people in the world speak it, and it's usually historians and people who deal with ancient texts, and then also using it as a mechanism to castigate others. I'm not a big fan. Not a big fan. And my rating is A++. Did I lose you? Are you gone? Are you gone?
I'm having trouble hearing you.
That's okay.
I'm having some technical difficulty. Hang on a second. By the way, hello there. 32 Flavors of Nick Weiser, my good buddy Nick. Hey, buddy, good to see you. And Claude Salling, are you hearing me now, number one?
Yes, I am.
I'm having this might be a StreamYards thing here, but I want to thank the great Nick Weiser for the $10 super chat. You're too kind, but he says this is a drunk super chat. So yeah, you. Man. And dude, you didn't have to do that, but thank you, buddy. You're too kind. Michael Beacom. Thank you, Nicholas. I just hope you're not out there driving or anything, buddy. Alexander Singer. Thank you for $5. Thank you, buddy. As a director, credits back to the 60s. He directed episodes Monks Bay. Wow, cool. Love it. Thank you for that, Michael. You didn't have to do that, my friend. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you, Nicholas. Well, appreciate you, buddy. Are you hearing me okay now? Because I lost it for a while there.
No, honey, you're in and out, but it's okay. We're gonna get through it.
You hear me now, though?
I do.
Okay. So, for a minute, I couldn't hear you. So now I can hear you. That I think actually, even though it was me sometimes, I think maybe StreamYards. If you're here again.
Yeah.
Oh, you're not hearing me at all?
Nope. You just dropped.
What about everyone? Are y'all hearing me out there?
Yeah. Ask the chat. Ask the chat.
Are you guys hearing me in the chat? Let me know if you've been hearing everything I've been saying. They were hearing me earlier.
We were. While we're doing that, I just want to respond to Mr. Angel. So I'll just say to Mr. Angel, he says Latin is not a dead language. No, where else did he put? He said, I agree. Where he took it down. Oh, he says, yes, I know it's officially dead. Modern Latin is different, but as a Roman history buff, I need it immensely. So for me personally, it's alive. I do agree. It's used often in a pretentious way. Yes, and we see this also too, where there's an entire generation of people that have been taught phonics and things like that, and a very international crowd. So if somebody says machina, you say you're a machinist. You don't say you're a machinist. And so when I hear people sort of making it seem like some YouTubers are uneducated, they're not being very truthful, right? And then very recently, a couple of days ago, I saw a whole bunch of people trying to make someone feel very stupid because he did not know how to say Achilles. But Achilles is how English people say Achilles, but that's not actually how you say Achilles, right? So we see all these people, thousands, hundreds of thousands of these people attacking this person, when meanwhile in Greece, it's like Achilleos. So that's not Achilles, is it? So I just want people to be nicer to each other and not try and correct one another, especially if they don't actually speak the language and don't understand what they're saying. No one should be making fun of somebody because they don't know how to say Achilles, especially when it's Achilleos, not Achilles. So yeah, anyway, I'm sure you see my point.
So how about now? You got to hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Maybe it's back. I hope so. So sorry about that. I had trouble hearing you for a while, which means, of course, you couldn't hear me, but now I'm hearing you. Everyone, sound check now if you could there. Appreciate you. So sorry about that, everybody. Hopefully you're hearing me this time. I mean, I'm not sure what it was, but sometimes my reading on my live reading on StreamYards is screwed up too, but this is something different. This thing's slow. So what was your rating again? I still didn't hear your rating. So if you can, now they're hearing me. Okay.
Oh, for this one,
thank you
for hard time, boss. It's an A++. I do believe that this would be one of the very best of DS9. If you watch this, it almost makes DS9, right up there. This is one of those things that helps correct all of the poopy diapers. It gets rid of the poopy diapers.
Thank you all, everybody. I agree, and I'm also A++. I just love this episode. It's one of my favorites of all. So now I will ask our wonderful chat to give us your ratings in any episodes you might have. And thank you all again for the help with the sound checking. I really appreciate you. So sorry about this. I'm going to get it cleared up somehow if I can. Unless I start using my phone to call into this thing, it may get that bad. Not tonight, because I will not. I just can't. Oh, man. Anyway. So, while Raquel is, number one, is saving those reviews, I will bring us some Max Redstone entertainment. I'm trying to get my blood pressure back down because I turned the mic off and went and almost punched things. Yeah. Well, I'm so mad. I'm so angry. It's not good. It's never good for me to do the show angry, but I am at this filthy computer. Here we go. But I'm going to try to work through it. I'll try to work through it, everybody. Here we go. Maybe Max Redstone can pull me out of my anger here with this one. Hard Time by Max Redstone. He says, we all knew Miles is not a brute. Alas, the DS9 writers like low-hanging fruit. Even though it is tougher to watch O'Brien must suffer. It clings to us like a poorly made suit. Well, that is nicely done, sir. I hope everyone heard it. I hope you all heard that. Let me know if you heard that. That helps. Believe me. Every now and then, it doesn't hurt to let me know you're hearing me. Well, I know if you weren't hearing me, you'd say something in there. So Raquel is oh, we got a bunch of them piling up. Okay, here we go. Let's get us moving here. Oh, one of the things Michael Beacom added about that episode earlier was Wolf's wife, Celeste, is a psychotherapist and family counselor, and she gave input. That's excellent.
Beautiful.
Thank you, Michael.
Beautiful background information.
And yes, thank you, sir. Indeed. So Neon Knight says, A rating. This episode is for me. This episode is for me in many ways. Well, thank you so much, Neon Knight. Appreciate you there. JT Kirk says B+. Bashir should have deleted O'Brien's memories of incarceration to keep consistency across episodes. This is why one doesn't hire Packlids for the writer's room. Get O'Brien some therapy, clon pigs. Wow. The great Lord Thoth says B+, an interesting premise, great acting, story and premise for dealing with convicts. Fascinating. How many times has O'Brien been in prison now? Need to take my socks off to count that high. Yeah, buddy.
Point taken. Point taken.
Yes, indeed. Chris Purser says, an intriguing idea of where the penalties to crime can lead, the penalties to crime can lead, and how direct editing of one's memories cannot only be used cannot only be used for rehabilitation,
Yes.
but for prolonged traumatic incarceration.
Yes.
Indeed, sir. And he also says, how much free will does Miles have if the VR program already had predetermined cue set to direct an ex-convict to self-delete after serving their sentence? I don't know if it had him.
Yeah.
I don't think it had him
Debatable,
set up to do
isn't
that.
it?
It was just consciousness. I just think it was his conscience. I don't think those people, just all they cared about was have their stupid sentence stuck in him because there were some rotten sons of. Anyway, yep. A+ says when to trauma warrior. As a former combat nurse, I've made counselors cry. I wish I could forget many of my experiences. I can't imagine a worse punishment than implanting false traumatic memories. Loved it. Thank you so much.
Sending you a big hug. Big hug.
Well said indeed. Well said indeed. Kal-El says A+. This episode, while it is cited as one of many of the O'Brien must suffer trope, tells an excellent story of the trauma of imprisonment as the events that unfolded are gradually revealed to not only the station's crew, but the audience as well. While the reason for O'Brien's prison sentence and swift execution of his prison term were glossed over, they both served. Hang on a second, Stephen. I got to get your next one. All right, here we go. Their purpose in setting up the story and showing O'Brien's descent as a result of his experiences. We see that decline in stages from his confrontation with Quark to snapping at Bashir. Violent with his own family, which makes O'Brien finally realize how far he's gone. The HR character served as his purpose well as O'Brien's conscience, as he, along with I got to find your next one, buddy. Please hang on. Sorry about that. Takes.
Hope I got it all.
Takes some doing.
In good order.
Save O'Brien from the self-deletion. But while this episode was more drama than pure sci-fi, it was extremely well done with somewhat poignant ending, as it stated that O'Brien will to learn to live with the false memories. A truly powerful episode of the series and worth a rewatch for any fan of O'Brien as well as the series overall. Yep, sir. Thank you so much. All right. Shooter says A+. Star Trek staple, let O'Brien suffer, and boy, does he suffer. Julian even reminds us just how much suffering he has been through previously. Oh, and Jake's back.
Yep.
Jake's back.
Yeah.
What?
Pew, pew, pew. Pew, pew, pew.
The idea of implanted simulated memories used for prisoners is interesting. Interesting would make for good. It will make for a moral. Make good. I think it meant make for a good moral debate. Sorry. Unfortunately, the episode focused on the aftermath.
I gotcha, and I agree.
But yeah, I think that made it a better story for me personally. I wouldn't want to
Yeah,
see all
because
the
it's more
details.
like Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, right?
Yeah. That said, the focus on O'Brien's trauma and recovery is very well done. It is dark and tragic and ends with hope moving forward. Note for future, there is a counselor assigned to DS9. That does happen.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah,
It's true.
yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That happens. Fancy Mount Cytri says A+, but hard times? Hardly. Did these aliens meet Miles' wife? One would think upon meeting Keiko that apologized to Miles profusely and offered to erase her from his memory. So wait, you are. Hang on, dude. Hang on, Fanty. I'm trying to find your other one here. Okay. Willingly married to her. Okay, Miles is a saint, and the aliens erect statues in his honor. Also, Keiko deletion is available if he ever wants it. Why does he want it? For Miles? I don't know. All righty. Anonymous says they gave him the Demolition Man treatment. They said is programming to murder, to kill. Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you, Anonymous. All right. Hang on, everybody. Excuse me. All right. Michael Beacom says, A, this must be a mistake. Some real, still flawed science fiction made its way in. Per page 326. This idea was pitched since season 1. Finally, Bashir... She was finally, because they exhausted all their others. A question mark. Yeah. Bear thought the time was right. This was an intriguing idea that traces all the way back to TOS episodes. As a corrective tool, the implications are frightening. Imagine being sentenced to multiple consecutive 90-year stints as you're going to, unfortunately, due to DS9 still very episodic. I don't expect O'Brien to suffer any long-term issues. One note, O'Brien. That's the writers. Yeah.
Yep.
I hear
These
you.
are excellent points, Michael, and I completely agree.
Spends 20 years in limbo, never tries to end it. One day back in the real world with Keiko, and he has a phaser in his mouth. Just saying.
Point.
We don't know. I mean, we don't know that he never tried it, and he would have to find a way to do it. But yeah, I mean, not saying, excuse me, not saying you're wrong, but we don't know that he didn't because they don't cover it. You know?
Michael Beacom needs to be on a writing team because his little substantive edit would be so welcomed in a writer's room because he would be able to poke all the holes that you would need in your story where he could be like, but what about? I mean, that is a vital voice in the authorial process. So 3 cheers for Michael Beacom.
B+ says the great Eric K. Only someone as strong as the chief could have gotten through that without going completely mad and not be a complete psychopath.
Yep.
Wish they revested revisited this or shades of this in the future. Or
Yep. Revisited it.
I think I mean revisited this
Yep.
in the future. Yes, they just they're so said this about either a TNG episode or even now this one where even the original series there's some you kind of wish they'd go back. And yeah, it's like they got this pretty good thread that you can come back to later, and they never do. But all the other stuff they do go back to, you're like, really that? But okay, whatever. Larry says, Clobby, occasionally you drop audio, losing data packets, mostly comprehensible data packets.
Just so you know.
I don't know what that means. I mean, I know I drop audio, but I don't know what data packets are.
Connectivity. So. Your connectivity.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Sorry, Larry, but thank you so much for that, buddy. I appreciate you.
Well, you asked.
A plus
says
the great Max. No. Okay. Thank you. The great Max Redstone says A plus. I 100% agree with Clobby and Raquel. This was futurism, and Colomini nailed it. This could have easily sailed into the trope of O'Brien must suffer, but was extremely substantial.
Yeah,
yes,
I agree.
Incredible episode. Let's see. All right, what do we got now? Don't worry, we're not done, folks. We have a few more here. Just got to get to them yet. Okay, the Catman, aka DD Myers, says, Clobby, I thought it was pretty good. I give it a C plus. Wow, man, you get real tight with those reviews. That's a low one. I'm just saying, compared to like if you really, I hate to say if you like really loved an episode, what you would give it. I'm messing with you, Catman.
You're on a huge delay, and you're not going to hear me say this for like 3 more seconds, but you have received gifts from Eric K. and JT Kirk.
Okay, thanks. Let's see here. Michael Carney, A++. I have nothing to say, but what a brilliant episode. Thank you so much, Michael Carney.
Yay!
Indeed. Mr. Angel says A+. One of the best episodes of DS9 ever. Feel no need to elaborate. You both said it all. Said it all. Why? Thank you so much, Mr. Angel.
Yep.
Appreciate you.
I agree, Chef.
Indeed. Thank you, Eric K. Buddy, appreciate you.
Sweetheart.
So much. Clobby, you need to get batter.
Better.
You have another 14,999. I know it says batter. Batter up, I guess. Shows here to go before you're allowed to retire. Thank you, buddy. I think if this computer keeps doing this, I'm retiring before Monday.
No, you're not.
Kirk. I'm about had it with this thing.
I know. Stay patient.
Thank you, JT Kirk. I've never been good at being patient.
I know.
But thank you, JT Kirk, for the $5. Appreciate you, buddy. Says memory implantation is in one sense a weapon. Starfleet has a tremendous pressure to create technology to guard against such intrusion.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Yes. It's just glorious, isn't it? I love it.
Indeed. Wolfie says, 1 of 1, rating A, Torture O'Brien, Chapter 4. This episode tackles a ton of issues, including torture, imprisonment, and PTSD. These aliens who did this need a quantum torpedo to the face. Indeed.
And Eric says that there was a mistake because he used talk to text. So I love you. Don't worry about it.
No problem.
Eric.
No problem, buddy. Appreciate you. Larry says, Raquel, way back in junior high, I took 1 semester of Latin. At the same time, I got A's in English. The only time I ever got A's in English. There you go.
Love it.
All right. It also got me interested in learning Greek and Russian languages and Greek and Roman mythology. That's a review.
Nice. Well, no, but I had to put it up because believe it or not, he's sticking with us, and he also took the time to text while he's listening at work.
No, I'm just messing with you.
Okay.
Cavatino says, grade F. They did not consult Cameltoe to treat Chief O'Brien. A real grade A. Because this story still resonates today because combated veterans deal with similar issues.
Yep.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Appreciate
you. Wouldn't want Counselor Cameltoe helping him anyways.
Victor
because she'd be
Fontaine.
like, where are you?
No.
Where are you?
Indeed, it's just... Oh, God. Victor Fontaine says, agreed. Great episode. Excellent writing and good job by Colomini portraying the anger, the self-hate, remorse caused by his traumatic experience.
Yeah.
Max Redstone for $2. Thank you, buddy. He says, drinks Sluggo Cola, the slimiest cola in the galaxy. What the
I love Max.
Thank you, buddy. Appreciate that. Mark D with a C. Sorry about the Giants, buddy. Nah, I'm sorry, man, but it was a good run for this year. Like you said, they went better than everyone thought they would. Says A+. Much better than the Giants game. Yeah, I hear you. Shades of the inner light with implanted memories. Too bad more of DS9. It's not like this episode. So true.
Yes.
Yeah, I hear you, Druder. I hear you. So.
Yep. And Keely Chow is here.
Hey, Keely.
I'm just going to say this again. Everyone who's in the chat, please realize now that the captain is on a huge delay. So if it seems like he's out of sync with us, he is time traveling. He has a delay of sometimes between 3 and 6 seconds. He is still your marvelous, marvelous captain. He has not lost his mind. His computer sucks. So does his connectivity. We're going to get it straightened out. Thank you for your patience.
See, I don't want as long as I come through clear, I don't think it affects them that much. It affects communications between you and me on the show more than anything else, I think. As long as they're hearing it, you know.
Yep.
But what do I know? Let's see. All right, everybody, we're ready for our next episode.
Next episode. Da, 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 da.
That one.
It's this one.
Yeah. I got him backwards.
Splattered diapers. Shattered mirror
or diapers. I'm gonna go take drugs. I'm gonna go take a medicine real quick and
go take
get a
your
little
meds.
blood back in while you're doing that.
I'll see you
in
a second.
Yeah, I'm still. Oh, don't worry. You're still in earshot, though. Don't worry.
Okay. Yeah, the boys have my back. Gentlemen, you got my 6. Watch me, okay? Because the boss, I won't be watching.
Gotcha.
Shattered Mirror is season 4, episode 19. So here you see 3 episodes back to back, one after another, I should say, that are all labeled episode 19. Just some crazy stuff happening with this streaming service stuff. Just know that it is prod code 492. We all watched this for the very first time on April 22nd, 1996. I'm going to be reading from Wikipedia extemporaneously. That means that I haven't pre-read it. And sometimes the writing sucks, and sometimes my reading is affected by the suckage. So here goes. Jake Sisko is astonished to find that the Mirror Universe doppelganger is Jennifer Sisko, his late mother. His late mother is visiting Deep Space Nine. Why do they write like this? They need to be kicked. Jennifer kidnaps Jake back to the Mirror Universe, and Captain Benjamin Sisko must travel there to retrieve his son. Benjamin learns that he was lured to the Mirror Universe to help the Mirror Miles O'Brien prepare their version of the starship Defiant for battle against the Klingon Cardassian alliance in what could mean freedom for the enslaved Terrans, in other words, humans. By this time, the Terrans have taken Teroknor, the Mirror DS9, and captured the intendant, Mirror Kira Nerys. They are preparing to defend against a recapture by the Alliance forces led by the Regent, Mirror Worf. Meanwhile, Jake bonds with Jennifer seeing her as a second chance to have a relationship with his mother. With Benjamin Sisko in command, the rebels' Defiant wins the battle and forces the regent to retreat. However, during the fight, the intendant is released by Mirror Nog. In her escape, she kills Mirror Nog and Mirror Jennifer, leaving Jake beside her body, and the Siskos, father and son, must grieve the loss of Jennifer once more. And that is all the collective internet has to say, the Wikipedia has to say about the summary of Shattered Poopy Diapers. Bossman, are you back? No, he's not. No, he's not. We're gonna wait for him. I'm gonna do a little bit of a song. Do 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 da 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 ba boo 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 do do da da ba ba da da.
Oh,
He's back.
sorry about that. I'm back. Sorry about that. Took me a second. It doesn't take as long to read from when it's one of those things, but let's see here. All right. Well, I think we can do this one quick for me.
Okay.
I don't have to go back to it. I love Mira Mira. And I hate when people screw around with Mira Mira beating Deep Space Nine because they're really the only ones that did it like this. And so, do I have to even tell you guys?
If you receive Alamarine, you'll come
Yeah, look, go with the notes because look, I hate when they screw around with the Mirror Universe. I love Mira Mira. I just don't. Look, I'm fully capable of admitting that my favorite episode of Mirror Mira, when you really think it to death, yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense that just because it's a parallel universe that there would be evil versions of these characters. But who cares? I love the episode and I've always loved it as a kid. But doesn't everyone else? Every time it's tried by anyone else, look, the actors have a big old fun time. Like, they get to be these crazy caricatures of their normal characters. They get to ham it up and have a good old time, I guess, and it's fine for them. But to me, I'm just sick of it. Leave the freaking what I hate, and I wouldn't mind that so much. What I hate the most is Deep Space Nine's whole premise for their mirror universe is that Spock from the mirror universe ruined the Federation. He ruined everything. They blamed everything on anything. Spock. But I'm saying this thing blames the destruction, all on Spock, which I hate it. So they can go screw. And this is I never like these idiotic episodes that take place in the mirror universe, and I don't like this one. It's just not even fun to watch. I get it; it's supposed to be fun to watch. And Neon Knight, I love Enterprise. Even that one, that was at least it was kind of cool because we got to see those old uniforms and stuff. But even that one had a different problem. There were no good guys in it because they were all just mirror universe without someone crossing over into it. So it made it even worse. I mean, although that was at least kind of fun, but still, leave the freaking mirror universe alone. They did it with the Shatner books. They did it a little bit better, but I just really don't like them going back to it. Mirror is the only one that ever should do it. So go ahead with your notes.
Well, I just want to echo and amplify what you've just said because they do this too much on this show, whether they're on a holodeck program where they're suddenly stuck in a James Bond-esque novel or whatever it is. It's almost as if these folks are admitting that they hate their characters. They're always stepping out of their characters to the point where we're starting to lose touch with just who those characters are. Worf is behaving badly in both universes. And in one universe, he's a complete nincompoop. I'm just saying that it's done too much in this show. It's supposed to be a rapid departure. It's supposed to be refreshing. It's supposed to let the actors stretch. It's supposed to allow the writers to stretch. And they're doing it every week. So no one's stretching. They're doing something else that's very close to onanism. Let's go. I hate Mirror Universe DS9. We just jumped from parallel universe to parallel universe. No big deal, right? insert barf icon. So this is okay with Starfleet. How come Starfleet hasn't got this under control yet? This is science fantasy. It's bizarre and annoying. They transport to multiple parallel parallel universes by waving a magic wand. And I mean literally waving a magic wand. It looks like a Steely Dan with a light on it, and they just wave it over the transporter. There is no risk here because I don't care about any of the evil versions of these people. I don't care. I'm going back to folding laundry. Honey, are the towels dry? Death and violence mean nothing here. It's used for comedy, like when Worf stabs Garrick. So there's no risk. No one cares. And they all get killed here anyways. And when they do get killed, it's comedic. So it's dumb. Julian, Jennifer, and Jadzia's wigs are awful. Did they just go, let's screw the three J's by making them look like nincompoops? They look like they went to Party City and picked out their own wigs and just put them on. Will Sisko fall in love with the Negaverse Jennifer? Barf. No one cares. And that's what the heart of this is. They keep asking the same question. Will Sisko fall for Negaverse Jennifer? I hate Nog. I also hate kids and storylines that are supposed to be about adults. And it was very clear that Gene Roddenberry and DC Fontana, since they wrote a letter together about the fact that it's not supposed to be for kids. And Kira is in heat again, okay? Why is Kira always in heat? And she's in heat in every character she is. I think it's dumb that Sisko is risking his life for nothing. This is another thing that I don't like. They're actually ruining the pretend universe. They're ruining that immersive feeling you have when you get into a really good story where you want to escape and you want to believe in that universe, because it just makes you think, oh, okay, so Sisko's going to go to this horrible Negaverse, and I'm going to keep on using Negaverse because I think it's hysterical. He's going to go to this Negaverse and risk his entire life, even though he has a son and he's the emissary, just for what? For poops and giggles? It makes absolutely no sense, and it destroys the risk. We were scared for Captain Kirk. We were totally scared when they went into Mirror Mirror. We were terrified of what would happen.
Yeah.
When I was quite young, I actually thought that they might never get back and they would have to stay on that ship. And now we have this evil crew. Like, come on, people. Also, Worf is a moron. And when I mean a moron, he's an absolute moron, knuckle-dragging nincompoop, and it's insufferable. And then I put a little star that said, please make sure you tell Clobby that whenever you rewatch this, you can't wait for everyone to die in the Mirror Universe so you don't have to watch this shite anymore. And that's all my notes say, boss.
They didn't die, though, did they? I wish they did. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, God, I hate it. I hate it. It just makes me sick. And, Neon Knight, I agree with you. I thought the Kirk books, the Shatner books did it okay. At least it was better than this. So, yeah, I mean, that was at least, I'll agree with you there. They were okay. I like the Kirk books anyway, for the most part. And that story was all right, but still, I don't like anybody screwing around with the Mirror Universe. That's just me. But okay, so what is your rating of Splattered Mirror?
Yeah, just splattered poopies. I just love that Shooter said, you guys didn't say anything about the Klingon who quote unquote lost his key in his boot. How dumb. Yeah, I know, Shooter. And this is exactly what Gene Roddenberry was talking about. Don't treat the audience like they're stupid. Your audience is smart. They're sci-fi people. Anyway, Boss Man, thank you, Shooter. I love your comments. Boss Man, I give this smeared poop D-.
I give this episode a freaking F as an F this episode. It's filthy trash. I hate it. And, I have an observation here, not to steer too far away. But what is it with the makers of I know it's Berman, who's still a showrunner who was working on TNG. But what is it with the DS9 where they're so obsessed with comedy? If you think about it, look, the original series had 3 humor-based episodes, and they're all really good. Even TNG, say what you want about TNG, it may not be your bag, it might be. I think too many episodes that were all like, they had lighthearted, humorous episodes, but it wasn't every other week had to be a damn comedy. Even Voyager, they had lighthearted episodes, whether you're big Voyager fans or not. It didn't seem to be every damn week. And Enterprise, same deal. It was humorous when you're in there. DS9, we're at the end of season 4. We must be up to around 6 or 7 or so episodes that you could categorize as comedies. And these stupid Mirror Universe ones, maybe not the first one, it was just bad. This is one, because of especially the Garrick and Worf stuff, it's so over the top, it's almost one of those again. All the Ferengi ones are comedies, just about, what is it with these people with comedies? It's a science fiction show, idiots. We put up with it. I know we put up with it. We put up with it because we love these characters, but it's still, after a while, you're like, look, does every other third episode have to be a guffaw fest? What is this, the Marvel movies?
Yep. I have stream brain right now, boss. What is the Klingon dog called again?
Targ?
A Targ. Garrick has got, like Mark just said, he's got a Targ collar on, Targ and collar and chain. Like, Garrick's a Targ, chained up at the side of the captain's chair. Come on.
Yeah, it's crap. So I will ask you all, my friends, to give us now your rating and any words you may have about Shattered Splattered Mirror. And while number 1 is capturing those, I will bring us some Max Redstone entertainment. We could sure use it on this one. So Shattered Mirror by Max Redstone, everybody. Here we go. A script idea used once, but not sent to the pulverizer, feels grating like a Karen asking for a supervisor. By now, the parallel universe is a hangover. The only reasons to cross over if there's someone there wants to have your agonizer. Whoa! You did that ended with agonizer, so I'm going to do it again and try to do it faster. All right. Again, the great Max Redstone, folks. Let's try this and see if I can get it right. A script idea used once, but not sent to the pulverizer, feels grating like a Karen asking for a supervisor. By now, the parallel universe is a hangover. The only reason to cross over is if there's someone there wants to have your agonizer. My goodness, top-notch stuff. Max Redstone, making it happen, folks. But he's so good that he deserves, in a good way, he deserves
agonizer, please.
Boss man, you there?
Redstone. Yes.
You faded out there. And also Shooter, our wonderful friend Shooter, would like the stream to be cleansed, please. He's calling for a cleansing of the stream. He would like the Clawbony unleashed on the stream to cleanse it of this horrible, horrible incident.
Well, does he want the full-blown one or just the normal one?
I'm not sure. Just give him some Clawbony. Get this poop cleaned up.
Let's go with basic.
Crap.
There you go.
Crap. Yep, that's a Clawbony cleanse right there.
All right. Yeah, righty. How about that?
That was a clobonoscopy.
Yes, sir. Okie dokie. Well, Neon Knight says rated F for F'd up. Yes, indeed. Indeed. Catman, aka DD Myers, says let me know if you're all hearing me okay. Give me just I can't see the normal chat right now. Are they okay out there?
Everything looks okay right now, boss.
Okay. they'll let me know. I'm sure. All right. So even on a delay. Okay. Clobby, I hate it when they keep doing the mirror universe. Should have left it alone. They keep screwing up the mirror universe with what they would move on from it, and I give this episode a solid F.
Yep, that's a great rating. Great rating.
I'm with you on the same page there. Indeedishness. JJ Kirk says 3.5 gorgeous attendance. The only thing missing is this episode. In this episode is the Infinity Gauntlet. The audience fails to really have a reason to care about Cisco and MCU Jennifer. Wow. Yeah, there's a definite MCU type of a deal with that.
Love it.
Michael Carney. Michael Carney says, D, I have mixed feelings about this episode. Can Felicia M. Bell act? Andrew Robinson is always great, even though I believe he hated these mirror episodes. Did he? I hope he did. Fun, goofy, and dumb. Like I said, mixed feelings. Yeah. I don't have any fun with it because I just, look, I probably wouldn't mind so much if the very first one they didn't blame everything on Spock. That sticks in my craw so much. I'm like, this sucks, and I can't. Therefore, everything going forward with their mirror universe is flawed, deeply. Get it? Deep.
Yep.
Sorry, anyway. Flawed and screwed up. Wolfie says, rating C. So you're hurrying to build a Defiant class starship and the Aurora Sentinel. Yeah, essentially. I like the Negvar variant and Defiant kicking ass, but that's about it. Yeah, that was a big Klingon ship.
Huge.
Max Redstone says F. This episode has gotten worse over time with the advent of Rick and Morty. Handle the concept of the multiverse so much better. Yes. Who doesn't? But yeah, I hear you. I hear you, Max. Maximum indeed. Michael Beacom says D minus. Would have been F, but for Felicia M. Bell and Garrick, of course. Could have been a D plus, but Kira didn't get naked enough to buy me off this time. I was out the minute that Cisco's wife appears. Felicia M. Bell, that's his wife, right? The lady plays his wife? Or no?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, I was out the minute that Cisco's wife appeared. I got you. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see here. From the mirror universe, but he has to go to a meeting that's more important. So leaves Jake with her. What could possibly go wrong? Head desk. Yeah, it was dopey. Right there with you, buddy. Let's see here. Eric K says F. I obviously liked his episode much less than Clobby. I think he means this episode much less than Clobby. These writers are, in the immortal words of The Rock, know your role and shut your mouth.
Yep.
Sometimes I think they forget what show they're writing.
True.
Indeedishness. Mr. Angel says no rating. The less said about DS9 Mirror Universe episodes, the better. Admits simping massively on Mirror Universe Kira. Pulls box of Shane overhead. I think he means shame. Yeah, you're right.
No shame in that. She's hot.
No shame in that, buddy.
She's hot, and it's technically a cat suit. You're allowed to drool. You're just a,
yes.
That's
you're only
sweet.
Human.
It's good. You're a human male. You're just a human being.
A human male. That's what we are.
That's right.
D minus says the great Kal-El. Wow, he didn't put those out too often. This is a very generous gentleman here, and he is, and we respect greatly. And I don't know if I've seen him give a D. Well, wow.
Kal-El is very forgiving and very supportive. So if it's a D minus for him, the suckage. This is
yeah. While I am a fan of the Mirror Universe, this particular episode is all over the place in terms of the story. It's trying to tell. The story is trying to tell, with some weak attempts at character development. DS9 really needs to upgrade its security software, since it seems that anyone who has the right type of device can download anything they want from its computer. Yeah, Also, while it's understandable that Jake would want to spend time with a person who looks just like his deceased mother, it's extremely unbelievable that he would forgive her deception upon its revelation.
Yep.
Iffy there, because it feels like his mom. So that he lost at a young age. I'm not so sure.
Yeah, but he's supposed to be falling in love with Cassidy Yates, right? Like the Cisco boys are now supposed to love Cassidy Yates. She's supposed to be the sun, moon, and stars, right?
Right. That feels like his mom, though.
Yep.
But I hear you.
Yep.
Are you hearing me now? Okay.
Yeah, you're back on.
Sometimes it cuts out of mine. I'm looking at my. Now, see, my connection goes out sometimes. Like my StreamYard's connection, they have a little indicator for it.
Yep.
And when I can't hear you, that means because it's going up and down. But now I'm hearing you because it's full now. So quickly. I didn't like the responses by both Mirror Universe Bashir and Dax to Cisco's actions during the last visit, as it does somehow does show some. I did like rather the responses, blah blah blah, to show some continuity. It was great to see Worf, Garrett, Kira, and Nog's portrayals. However, as it seemed like the actors were really enjoying themselves with their performances. As far as a Mirror Universe episode goes, it was somewhat enjoyable for the aforementioned performances, but as a DS9 or even just a Star Trek episode, it left a lot to be desired. Well, so much, Kelly. I hear you, buddy.
These are some great reviews.
Raymond Feliciano says, indeed, rating F, says Raymond. I agree that you don't with the Mirror Universe. You don't F with the Mirror Universe, probably. This was pure tripe. Mira Pudgy rates it as cinematic masterpiece. Okay. Wendy, Trauma Warrior, says F. In a Mirror Universe, Jimmy and I are well-endowed strippers, not warriors. The toothpicks are gone. I want to close my freaking eyes.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh,
I agree.
Love to you and Jimmy. Wendy, thank you so much. Wolfie, oh, you're too kind. Wolfie, thank you so much. Says they failed to mention you have to hold a mirror transport device between your butt cheeks for it to work properly. Thank you for the super chat, buddy. Oh my goodness.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Wow, Wendy's came out. It's funny how Wendy's was in there twice. She must have put it in twice by accident.
Well, maybe not.
Strange.
Weird stuff going on. Don't worry about it.
I'm seeing her. No, it's fine. I'm just saying hers was in there.
Is it there again?
Anyway.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Larry says. Spock says, "Forget." I wish.
I loved that. I know it's not a review, but I loved it.
Phantom Outsider says, D for Dom. Apparently, they cannot remember that in the Mirror Universe, the Terrans were evil monsters who were committing planetary genocide. Spock gets them to stop, and every other race takes up the slack. Hang on one second here. Sorry, I thought I was going to sneeze. The slack. The Terrans stopped putting their boots on our necks. Hey, let's put our boot on there and the other necks. A universe of slow learners for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all we got so far. I think that's all we got.
King Dolphin TV is going to bed, so let's say goodnight to Raymond Feliciano and Sandra Feliciano. Good night, Felicianos.
Okay. Good night, Felicianos. Have a great night.
And Wendy has explained why you saw it twice. She says that the first one disappeared on her.
Oh, weird.
And the caboose is in your starred column, boss.
D plus says the great chief engineer Mark David to see the good, great space battles and effects, plus some great looking ladies. The bad, this version of the Mirror Universe is infected with splurpies. Appreciate you. And let's see. Take care, Raymond and Sandra. I hope you have a great night. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. well, I guess yes, please, everyone, follow that link and subscribe to King Dolphin TV in color. It is in color, by the way. I can attest to that
What
because
is
I've been
going
there.
on? Did we
What?
read Shooter? Because Shooter's saying that he doesn't remember hearing us read his review.
Oh.
Let me go look. Let me go look. Let me go look. Let me go look.
Shooter, I don't know. Oh, goodness, Jill's here. Jill,
Hey,
what's up?
hi,
Thank you for the $10
sweetheart.
super chat. You're too generous, my dear. Yeah, sorry about that. Thank you so much. She says, I wish I could have been there earlier tonight. I'll have to catch up with these episodes later, but I wanted to hang around anyway. Lots of love to the 735ers. Love back at you, Jill, our communications officer extraordinaire. Love you. I hope whatever you are doing, you're having a wonderful night.
That is true. That is true.
Alrighty
Okay,
then.
so I'm seeing a whole bunch of
Shooter's not in
Shooter's
there?
comments, but a Shooter doesn't have a review
Uh-huh.
here. Not one that I can see right now.
Weird.
This is
Shooter
weird.
did. I mean, usually does a multi-parter. Shooter, would you
does.
like to? Well, wait a second. If you
And he even
wait a
asked for
second
the
if you wanna-
Clubberian stuff, and he had great comments, and we even read his extra comments. But where's his review? I don't
he
see
said,
it.
just got distracted. Did you? So you wrote reviews then? Weird. Because he usually writes. You can tell because he says one of whatever, and one
That's
of two,
right.
one and such, or one of four, whatever. Huh. Shooter, if you want to shove those back in there.
Yeah, honey. Put
I'll
him
tell you
through
what,
one more time. We'll read
Tell you
them.
what, Shooter, if you want to put them through, Shooter, take your time. We'll go on to the next episode, then we'll just what?
Please
okay.
look at your
There's
starred
the
column.
great Mark D with a C. Oh, there you go. Thanks. Oh, thanks, Jill and Mark. Okay. A plus. He said, member too much. Thank you for being a member. A plus, he says. Star Trek staple, let O'Brien suffer, and boy does. Oh, you're talking about hard time. We didn't read his. Oh yeah, we did read his.
Yeah.
We read your hard time review.
He did say that he went into the kitchen for a minute.
Okay, no, Shooter, we read your hard time review. I remember, even with my bad memory, I remember that. So here's your. Yeah, we did read it, sir. Maybe you missed it. Yeah, I'm sorry. But here's his review of I guess this is of the one of Shattered Mirror.
Yeah.
Okay, it's confirmed Cisco mirror. She ain't happy about it. Oh, and he gave it a D, by the way. D. Oh, and apparently the attendant slept with Eric. Is this Mirrorverse all about sex? Let's just move on, shall we? Yeah,
I agree.
Exactly, Shooters. Just a bunch of dumb sex crap. It's garbage. I think it's
and under false pretenses. And Cisco has intercourse with all of those women in a previous episode under false pretenses. So he's making it seem as though he's from their universe. And then he just goes back to his own universe and faces those women as if he hasn't done anything wrong. I have objections to that as well, Shooter, because I think it's conduct unbecoming a captain. I think it's outrageous and I think it's bad. And it goes to his character. And we're supposed to see him as a person who's beyond reproach, not someone who goes into another universe, has sex with everyone there, then goes back to work like nothing happened. It's weird. And I totally support your comments, Shooter.
Absolutely. So now on to our final episode of the evening.
Yes.
If you're ready.
We are on the final episode. It's the
Our final episode is
episode.
The Muse.
The Muse.
What you said. Everyone,
Season
the Muse.
4. Episode 20. Prod code 493. We all watched this for the very first time on April 29th, 1996. I'm going to be reading from Wikipedia. The writing probably sucks, so that means my extemporaneous read, my cold read, might also suck. But we're going to do it anyway. Let's do it! Lwaxana Troi returns to Deep Space Nine seeking Odo's protection. She's pregnant with a son and on the run from her Tavnian Tavnian husband Jael. He wants to take the baby, upon birth, away from Lawaksana to be raised in an all-male environment. Lawaksana does not want to be separated from her child. Oda discovers that according to Tavnian law, the son belongs to the mother's husband, not necessarily the actual father. He proposes that Lawaksana divorce Jael and marry Odo so that Jael cannot claim her child. This scheme is complicated when Jael invites himself to the marriage ceremony. The Tavnian marriage ceremony requires that all present be convinced of the legitimacy of the feelings of the couple, meaning that Odo will have to convince Jael that he is truly in love with Lawaksana in order for the marriage to be legitimate. The plan works. Odo and Lawaksana are married and Jael leaves the station. Meanwhile, Jake Sisko spots an alluring woman. Now, I just want to say for the record that that's just what the episode should have been about. But we're going to keep going. Meanwhile, Jake Sisko spots an alluring woman arriving on the station. She finds him and invites him to her quarters. Jake backs out of a 3-day trip with his father, Captain Benjamin Sisko, in order to stay on the station and meet the woman, Onaya. That evening, Jake meets with her and she helps him write by stimulating certain areas of his brain. However, it appears she is also taking something away from Jake. Jake meets with her several times working on an ambitious novel. His father returns to the station and eventually finds Jake with Onaya and prevents her from killing his son. Onaya justifies her actions by saying that she allows artists to live forever through brilliant work that she helps them produce while she is nourished by the artist's brain energy. While Jake is recovering, his father has read the pages that he wrote under the influence of Onaya and tells Jake that he has the beginnings of a good novel. Jake responds that he does not feel that the words are his own. Benjamin assures him that Onaya only helped him to draw on what was already there. And that is all the internet has to say about the RAP. I'm just going to throw it under you. Boss,
wow.
What did you think of the Muse?
Well, I think I've always thought this was a very interesting episode. This speaks to some of the problems with this show always has, where you have two. In other words, you take two stories that you don't think you can make a full fleshed out episode of, and you mash them together. I think you could have just done a story that with more about the Odo and and the Laksana. I don't. That's agree. I actually don't discount the concept behind the episode with Jake and the Meg Foster. Woo, I always loved her. This story, I find that to be a very Star Trek type of a concept where you have this alien being that feeds off the emotions of these creative people and just sucks them dry or whatever like that. I mean, there's a definitely kind of an old school type of Star Trek feel to the concept. I don't think that's a worthless concept for a short story or something like that. The problem is you're asking these two stories to coexist together. So while I still think they do an okay job of it with the episode, I don't know. I'm not the decisions they make sometimes with these episodes doing things like that. It's a schizophrenic thing with the way they write these things sometimes. If you see where I'm coming from.
Yes.
I don't know. So anyway, notes.
Hey,
Rod Thunderheart.
Rod Thunderheart, hello. The storyline of that about Odo and the pregnancy was written by Magel. So that's the good part, and the crappy part was written by Renee Echevarria. So
it also had the great Michael Ansara.
Yes, as JL. Okay. Here we go, folks. JL and Kira pronounce Lawaksana as Luxana. Michael is, of course, George, and Sarah, who plays Kang. It is the year 2372. Jake was born in 2355. So Jake is 15 or 16 years old here. And he's attracted to a woman before any magical spells upon docking who is 50 years old, Meg Foster. Onaya raping, raping a kid is sick. Why am I watching this crap? This is pedo stuff.
Hell, the being is hundreds of years old. Sorry.
Yeah, but I just mean like when you see Meg Foster,
Right, the
walking,
actress. Yeah.
yeah, she's like almost 50 years old here. I think she's like 49 or
Exactly.
something, or 50. And he's like 16, 17. You just don't buy it. The whispering and grooming is obvious that this is super pedo, and there is sexual tension, and I think it's gross. Renee Ocavaria needs
Yes.
to be publicly flogged for writing a story that wastes our queen so we can watch an over-the-hill creepo seduce a teenage boy. This is gross. In the USA, you aren't an adult
Yeah.
until you're 21 years old. That's about 5 years away from Jake, 5 years too soon. And he is being groomed by
Right.
a menopausal woman. This is sick. Majel is divine with
They would
Renee.
never do that the other way around, by the way.
No, they wouldn't. It's so beautiful and so
If it were like
sincere.
a young girl with an older man. Yeah.
That's right.
Sorry, go ahead.
Majel is divine with Renee. It's so beautiful and sincere. It makes my heart smile, especially because we have the George Ansara there. So Majel's contribution to this script, I think we just should have left it at that. I hate the disgusting touching. I also don't like the magic pen. I think it's weird. Anyways, I always call this the pedo salt vampire episode. I think it's gross. I also put in my notes that I miss Majel so much it makes me sad. And I also said that the Babylon 5 girl, you know the Babylon 5 girl, the redhead, she's the nurse in this episode, and I don't think she's in the credits.
Patricia Tallman. Yeah.
Okay. Patricia Tallman.
I love her.
The
She's
B5.
wonderful.
Yeah. She gets killed by Onaya. Onaya murders her. But so I call this the pedo salt vampire. This episode should not be called the muse. It should be called the pedo. And I think it's gross. And this is a horrible waste of Majel's last appearance on this horrible show. That's it.
Yeah. No, I agree. What a waste. I mean, I still think the concept, though, of a being that does that, but I mean, just when it's this young kid, and it's just so, like you said, it's creepily done, really. It's done, it's just so weird. It's just uncomfortable to watch.
Mm-hmm. And what is brain energy? What is brain energy?
Like, I mean, I've seen stuff in science fiction before where they've had people like beings that feed on emotions and all that other kind of crap, and the fact that it was these artists, that, again, I like some of the ideas behind it, I gotta admit, but it just first of all, forget about that even for a second. I know that's creepy and sucks, but the fact that you take away from a Loaxana episode by shoving that crap in there, in the first place, is probably the biggest crime here. Other than the old lady with the kid, but you know how men are about that sort of thing. Men never think it's anything wrong when it's a kid and an older woman. But like I said, the other way around, they would never do that.
Well, I have lots of men in my life, and I have lots of little kids that grew up around me that were little boys, and I think that this is just absolutely psychotic episode. I absolutely hate it. I hate watching it. I mute it. I don't partake in it. I think it's gross. She's a middle-aged menopausal woman. There's no way that a 16-year-old boy would find her attractive. I don't like the fact that there is no real exchange, and that there's all this inappropriate touching and this grooming, and the fact that he is attracted to her before there's even any magic. He's like, how does he say it? He says it in a really weird way. He's like, and an attractive woman comes to this station with a secret or a story to tell, or something like that, how he introduces her. And it's super disgusting. What's better is like, if she was taking some sort of element out of his body in exchange for helping him to relax, to be a better writer, or if it were her writing and that she imparted it into his brain or something like that. But in any case, this should be done to an adult. It's not okay that a middle-aged menopausal woman, that's more than middle-aged for
Right.
many people, should be touching a 16-year-old boy like this, keeping it a secret from his
Agreed.
parents, having all this weird sexual tension. It's gross. That they should vaporize this episode. This episode shouldn't even exist. It's appalling. It is absolutely disgustingly appalling. Anyway.
Wendy, good to see you. Thank you for being here tonight. She's taking off. Love you.
night.
Love back to you, and thank you for being here tonight with us. Yes, look, it's atrocious, and again, if he, all they had to do it with a character that's not Jake, that's in the early 20s, young guy,
Yep.
an evil alien sucking out his imagination, energy, and all that kind of crap. An adult, maybe a young adult, but an adult, and it's one thing. Because I do love Meg Foster. I've always liked. She's always thought she was a cutie. Not her fault. She did this stupid. Well, it is her fault. She took the job, but you know what I mean.
Mhm.
It's pretty disgusting. But not only that, I do love the some of the stuff between Odo and Lwaxana, though. I mean, some of that stuff is pretty good. I mean,
I think it's
a shame that
sensational
this had
because
to be
the
her last
acting is
episode.
so good. The acting is incredible, and I think it was so beautiful that Lwaxana was the one with the unrequited love, not Odo, but that Odo was so charmed by her, and that she had become so dear to him that he was willing to trade that just for her freedom and her emotional peace of mind. How gallant. What a beautiful creature
Yes.
Odo is. And their love that they have is just magical. And the fact that it has to remain a friendship, and yet it is so intimate and so powerful. And let's face it, this is the last time we get to see the queen. Why would you waste my queen on this crap?
Only Hollywood degenerates would combine one beautiful story with one creepy ass side story or whatever you want to call it, or split a story down the middle to make it share space with that crap. Is just, I mean, it's, like I said, it's brutal because it's her last appearance. I guess I don't know if they knew that at the time. I guess they did. I don't know, but that was the stuff with Odo and Lwaxana are beautiful. I might split review it. I might split review this one or split rate it. So go ahead and give me your rating of the the abuse.
Well, the thing is that I'm a parent. I have offspring, and I have a lot of little boys in my life that grew up around me, and I think that they're pretty wonderful. But as I will use my captain's words, I would normally say, well, I'm Frank. You're not Frank, you're Raquel. But no, my boss always says, call balls and strikes. Well, I think this is pure pedo. And the only reason why people allow it is because it's happening to a little boy instead of happening to a little girl. And I think that's wrong. Yep. But it is so overwhelmingly bad with the secret telling, with in making it seem like the little boy liked it, or the little boy asked for it because the little boy found her attractive before she could even put a spell on him, and all this really sick crap that's going on. I just think it's so powerful that I have to give the episode an F. But I need to say right now from my heart that I do not feel that it is an F with the Magel stuff. So Magel is like, I think they knew not to F with her because the costuming is incredible. The fact that she holds that little light, and that light is a symbol of joy and openness and clarity and purity, and that she's holding that, and that Odo is just so gallant and is just so, his morals are just so high and his ethics are so high. And this is such a powerful statement about intimacy, but people remaining friends. I mean, I think it's beautiful, but it's attached to an episode that has obvious pedo in it, and I don't like it. So I have to stick with my F. I'm sorry, everyone. I love my queen too, but these people can't get away with this just because it's happening to a boy. That's wrong.
Yeah, I'm going to go with an F also for not only just the reasons you mentioned, but like I said, the idea I thought was pretty science fiction. It's a being that goes on feeding on the imaginations of these creators and all that kind of stuff. But the way they set it up, those scenes with her and him, and all this other kind. Hey, stunt brat. Hey there. Good to see you, my dear.
Hey, gorgeous. How are you?
Good to see you. They were so just wrong. I mean, they were just. I don't know how else to put it. I'm trying to put it as mildly as I can. They were, and these degenerates don't know that. I mean, they don't. I mean, what? Why are you doing that kind of? You could have easily, even though I don't think they should have shared story anyway with the other one.
Yeah.
You could have easily just made this about some coming on the station who's writing something or whatever. He could have been a young adult, because Meg Foster's a lovely woman, even at her age. And and it's this alien. I get that this is this rotten alien being that goes around doing this stuff. All you had to do was not make this Jake Sisk made an adult, and I would have probably thought that's a pretty interesting concept, because I think it is. Yeah. But it's just, yes, it is. Oh, it's totally derivative, Michael Beacom, no question about it.
Yeah, I agree.
It absolutely is. Day of the Dove being a good example. Oh yeah, it is derivative, no question about it. But as far as a being that goes on feeding on the emotions or the creativity artist, I found that to be an interesting concept. And like I said, it's easily remedied if you just don't make it a child.
Well, further to that, as an author, as a science fiction author myself, the first thing I think of is, why not visit this terrible brain energy? Because it's not talent she's after, it's brain energy. Why not visit this horrible vampire on everyone? And focus on each one of their special talents. So to rob them of their reason, or to rob them of their kindness, or to rob them of, I don't know, just any of your traits. And to have that juxtaposition to this gallant, incredibly romantic, but perfectly done science fiction romance, that's the non-romance happening with Odo and Magel. So I completely agree with you, Clobby. And she could have visited multiple souls on this station and done things to them and sort of wiped their memory of it ever happening to them. It is a beautiful idea, but you can't do this to a child. He's a child.
Well, remember the context, the concept that it was Keats and other, well-known people who created things and died young because of this being going all throughout history and helping the, course, these things that are inside of the creativity that's inside of these artists, and bringing it out and subsisting upon that and causing them to perish early. Like I say, I think that's good science fiction stuff. It's just even Keats. Keats was an adult. If it's an adult, I have no problem with it. It's just that you showed a creepy stuff with an older woman, an actress, with a child. I don't know exactly how old Sarek Lofton was, but like you say, Jake was 16, whatever he was. It's just, all you had to do was make up a character who happens to be passing through the station, who's a writer, this, that, and the other, and I wouldn't have the problem that we have with it. But that's just me, and I still don't think it should be tethered to the story with Odo and the Lwaxana's last appearance in Star Trek. It's just, why would you do that? I mean, I guess this one thing about these writers that bothers me. Okay, they feel like let's say they want to do this story about Odo and the Lwaxana, right? They feel like they can't fill up 40 some odd minutes with it. They've got to cut it down in half and find another 2 stories. These people, the original series, they used to write one damn story in 50 minutes.
That's right.
But you guys can't tell a story. You rarely write a story where it's the whole one story when you're, 43 minutes or whatever?
Yeah.
You're really crappy writers, apparently, a lot of the time, because you come up with a good idea, but you can't make it work over the course of 40 measly minutes. That you have to, how many times you have to come up with 2 stories and mash them together between 2 slices of bread, I guess.
Yeah.
So what is wrong with you people?
Yeah.
That's the problem I have.
We're getting some pretty beautiful feedback in the chat, and Stunt Brat is giving you a massive here. And definitely folks are really happy with the fact that we're standing up for this little boy and recognizing what's being done to him, and that we are being tuned into thinking this is normal, to normalize this behavior. And certainly that should not happen. And Stunt Brat, who is a stunt woman, she's a retired stunt woman and also a great friend of this channel. We just love her. She's saying, you know, that she saw great changes in the industry over 2 decades. So I love having Stunty here. Stunt Brat, we love you, baby. And great feedback. And Lieutenant Crichtenden is here, boss.
Lieutenant, welcome, sir. Good to see you, my dear boy. My dear boy. It's always good to have an officer and gentleman in the room, sir. Salute you, sir. All right, so number one, did we rate it? Yeah, we rated it, then we talked about it some more. So yeah. Everyone, oh, sorry, Neon Knight, I'm having problems with mine as well. So I hope you're all sound check out there, by the way, hope you're all hearing us well. Number one, I will now tell the chat, please put any ratings and any words you may have about the Muse.
Yes.
And while number one is capturing those, I shall bring us some more fantastic Max Redstone entertainment. Thank you, Jill.
Sounds good.
Thank you, Chris. All right, everyone. The Muse by Max Redstone. The Loaxana is back, and she's clutching a pearl. Jake meets a new lady who gives his brain a bit of a whirl. Oh, what plot device deserves more disparage? Is it Odo and his fake marriage, or the paranormal parasite hoarding Jake's mental acorns like a squirrel? Wow, that was a tongue twister there, but still well done, Max. Appreciate you. Max Redstone, you rock, buddy. All right, so let me see. Larry says, short story. I know some sci-fi short stories from a great author, Raquel R.M. Briggs. Yes.
Love you, Larry. Thank you, sweetheart. I love you so much. You have no idea how much your opinion matters to me. So you just fill my heart with so much love. You're the best.
I think I've heard of her. Maybe we can get her on the show. All righty then. Let's see. Red Shooter says, I disagree, Raquel. I saved this one, actually. The Jake stuff should be surgically removed and preserve the Odo Troy story. Yeah, absolutely.
I totally agree. I totally concur. Shooter. Pew, pew, pew. Hitting the target.
Catman says, Clobby, this episode wasn't worth my time, and don't watch it anymore. I give it an F.
Yeah, and just so you know, Boss Man,
yes,
Catman has left the building. He has gone to sleep. So I just wanted to say goodnight to Dee Myers and his wife, and saying hello to them. And have a wonderful sleep. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend.
Yeah, excellent. Well, take care, my friend. JT Kirk says F. The reasons Raquel said, I won't repeat for algorithm's sake. Needless to say, I was not amused, cool, with this one. I skipped this one on rewatches on principle. Agonizers on the writer's room. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Mr. Angel, the chef, says, nope, not going to give this one, this episode, the honor of a rating. Cluboni it. Did you say Clubonian? Well, you know what, buddy?
Yes, he did.
You got it, pal. We'll give you the full-on Cluboni on this one. Right here.
Clabberin, if you receive Clabberin, you come with
Beauty.
Did the writer room use aphrodisiac drugs this episode? Is this episode in Shattered Mirror one? It's more deep porn 9.
Yep.
Yeah,
it's
buddy.
So true. It's so true.
Absolutely, ishness. Michael Carney says F. Trash episode. Sarek Lofton can't act. Should have just been about Odo and Magil. And may have been a really good episode. The storyline is mostly boring and vile in places. Weirdo, P-word, trash. Sorry, I don't want to. Oh, man, I got to watch. I shouldn't have. Well, we'll be okay, but you got to watch the words that we say on there.
Yes.
I didn't see that till too late. Sorry. Yeah, you gotta kind of watch. I mean, obviously the chat let it put it in there, but you know.
But then they'll ding us with the stupid algorithm.
Yeah. So some of the words you got to kind of watch when that are, I mean, we're probably all right, but you know, YouTube's funny about some of that stuff.
Yep.
Michael Beacom says, F. Glad they called it the Muse. If they called it Odo Gets Married, my finger would have hit the off button on its own. Things in favor. Meg Foster. Yeah, he always loved her. Majel Roddenberry, Michael and Sarah against. Yeah, Michael and Sarah, of course, she's great. Excuse me. Just the whole script. A and B plot, despite the title, which was which? Which was which? Anti-Hugo Award winner. Anti-Hugo, biggest waste of Michael and Sarah in a sci-fi series. Page 335. Ira Bear confesses this was a pitch from Majel Roddenberry at third season Rap Party. Originally, Odo was the father. Oh, what? Sometimes, no matter how much you like someone, a true friend says no. They said yes and spend a long time trying to. Hang on. Got to find your next one, buddy. There he is. Got to search sometimes. Somehow make it work. Page 335, David Livingston. I just didn't know what to do with it. Well, at least he was honest. No, Magil got a story screen credit. Should have used Alan Moraine Smithy.
Nom de plume.
Yeah. Wait,
Very
did
clever.
You say you should have used this? All right. So, okay. The great Eric K. Rinser of Bronze says, F. Hollywood Dream Party here. yeah, no kidding. Fredo alert. That's how you say it, Fredo.
Thank you, Eric.
When I watch this, yep. For anytime you ever want to write that word, of course,
I will.
Knows that the Bronze Rinser knows what he's talking about. When I watched this, it was just cringy. Thank God I fell asleep before the end of this crapola. The rest of the episode could not raise this at all. And it's such a shame because there's some beautiful scenes.
Thank you for teaching me that, though, the Fredo thing, honey.
Yeah.
Or Fredo.
I've heard that before. I should have remembered that. I've heard it before.
I like that. I'll be using that in the future. Thank you. I'm always learning. Thank you.
Yeah, so let's see here. I've heard it before. I should have remembered it. Yep. Shooter says A story D-, B story B+. I have mixed feelings on this one. Firstly, we have A and B stories. Both are enjoyable, but both feel like filler, and there is no cross interaction by the two of them. That's true. The Odo and Troy story is nice and interesting, and nice and interesting look at alien cultures. And I actually like that Odo has feelings for Troy, despite the previous encounters. It works on the idea Odo is lonely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. The history with losing her child works well in explaining the situation, and Troy shows she understands Odo more than other people in his life. It has a bittersweet ending. Yes.
What a beautiful review this is.
Indeed. I like the idea of Jake's story, but it comes off as sexually predatory. Yes. It would have been better with an older character. It doesn't work and detracts from the episode. So that's the way I've always thought about it. It's like, I mean, just stick with adults, please. I mean, if you have kid characters, do kid type stories with them, and don't.
That's right.
Anyway, also the B story outshines the A story, which fortunately has a minority of the screen time. I love Cisco using the term outbreak when referring to the Bajoran wilderness. Outback. Sorry. Outback. Sorry.
That's okay, boss. That's okay, boss.
I'm an idiot. Let's see. Oh, sorry. I already got that one. Okay. Kal-El says D-. Although almost any episode with the lovely Loxana Troy in it is at least bearable to watch. Unfortunately, it doesn't save this particular episode from its rating. In fact, the reason why this episode wasn't rated lower is because of the appearance of Loxana Troy as the plot. She was given saves it from being skipped upon rewatching the series. Where to begin? Where to begin? Jake's. Hang on. Association with Onara doesn't make a lot of sense, and it seems completely out of character for him to trust someone whom he has just met so completely, despite whatever influence she was exerting on him. Their relationship was creepy at best and predatory at worst, as Anaya was simply using Jake for his brain energy to keep herself alive, although similar to the salt vampire creature of TOS, this was done in a much worse manner, as the creature in that episode used deception to achieve its ends, as opposed to thinly veiled seduction. Odo agreeing to marry Loxana in order to help her keep her baby, although seemingly admirable, just didn't seem in character for him. As someone who purports to uphold the law, he is technically committing a fraud, but even Odo can't be perfect all the time, buddy. A point which is never addressed in this episode. This episode is pure filler between the more interesting episodes of the season, and not even good filler at that. Well, there you go. And there's a man who give out bad reviews very often. Go ahead.
Yeah, and the thing that I like about this is when you hear Shooter talk, when you hear Kal-El talk, you hear about people who care about the characters. And so when something in a utopian show that's supposed to be about, promises and good things for the future, they feel upset. Because this is this is Star Trek you're talking about here, right? So I really, really love it that they impart this caring attitude toward the characters. And I would just like to welcome Tony Stark back into the chat. And I would also like to say that our Chris Persia has to leave, everyone. He says, have a great evening and a wonderful Sunday, everybody. Good night, one and all. Chris Persia, we love you. Thank you so much for everything you do for everyone in this community, whether it's doing a show poster, sharing a link, supporting somebody's book or channel. I mean, you do it all. You're so caring. You're such a wonderful person. Thank you so much. And tell your dad we said hello.
Indeed. Chris Persia, thank you so much, buddy. Random Outsider says B for A, B for A minus F. Oh, for A, I guess. Wait a minute. B for A, F for the B plot. Man, that's make that to pad out the other Loxana story was 2 words: bachelor party. Quark organizes a party for Odo, being helpful. Loxana will keep Odo out of the schemes for a bit.
That's actually a really good idea.
Are you okay?
It's a very good idea. It's probably an idea I would have used. That's a very good idea, man. I love that idea.
There you go. Is he thinking of the movie Bachelor Party? Anyway, I wonder if the creature was to try. I wonder if the creature was to try and tap an actual talent, say Kirby, which he popped like a tick. Also, if they wanted it to work, swap Bashir for Jake, and it's more acceptable.
Yes,
more acceptable. Yeah, well,
yes.
She should have done that. Too bad she never found the Enterprise and did it to Wesley. Just kidding. I'm not advocating for it. I'm just making fun of Wesley. Max Redstone says C-. I want to like this episode. I do. sadly. It is just a waste of Majel Barrett's talents, and it also shortchanges Odo and Jake's characters.
Boss man, Cardinal Sin just walked through the door
Yes.
and left you a very nice gift. I have it starred.
Thank you, Cardinal Sin. What's up, buddy?
Cardi!
Good to see you, Cardi. Thank you so much. I'll get right to it. The Loxana in distress story, excuse me, should have taken stage front and center and been paired with a plot line that would have complemented it, or at the very least, not one that competed with it. That's a good,
Hear,
very
hear.
good point, sir. Yeah, absolutely, Ishness. What we see develop between Odo and Loxana is too short but glorious.
Mm-hmm.
He became her comforter. The development of their relationship within this episode boosts this crap vest above F. Fair, that's a fair cop.
Max,
Is to
what a
blame.
great review.
That's a fair cop, Maxer. Yeah, well, and he says the Jake psychic parasite storyline is worse than Vogon poetry. I can only hope that in the mirror universe, these events transpired 100% oppositely, and with many more goatees. Thank you,
what a great review.
Rod Thunderheart says, excuse me, I must admit Deep Space Nine I skipped, but I might consider getting the series based on your guys' reviews. Well, thank you, Rod. Don't do it or not. Don't spend money on my account, but you might like it. A lot of people do. So a lot of people are big fans of this show. Huh? Stunt Brat says, I did not work on Deep Space Nine, only visited the set. Okie dokie.
No, she has more coming.
Oh, okay.
She's just talking about some cool stuff.
I only worked on Star Trek, I think Next Generation, and Spaceballs. Whoa, nice. I love space. Love Spaceballs.
And boss, before we go any further, even
yes.
though I know you're on a bit of a delay, it's very important that I say that Michael Beacom is exiting the building. And I would just like to say good night, Michael Beacom. Good night, Sandra Beacom. Thank you so much for being here. Michael had a long day at work, and he has to go to work again. And he says, thank you to one and all. And he says, be seeing you.
Be seeing you, Michael Beacom. Thank you, buddy. Great to have you here as always, my friend. And shout out to Cassandra. Larry says, agonizer booth for the writers. The agony booth. Yes. So basically you're saying?
Your agonizer, please.
All right, let's see here. And he also said, Michael and Sarah, formerly married to Barbara Eden. Yes, one of the luckiest men who ever lived, huh?
I did not know that, and I think
great.
that is so cool.
It's true.
The woke breaker just walks through the door, boss man.
Hey, the woke breaker. Good to see you, my friend. Welcome. Good to see you here. As always, a pleasure, sir. Cardinal Sin with a 1999 super sticker. Oh, buddy, thank you so much, Gil.
Yeah,
you're very kind. I appreciate you, buddy. Thank you, man. I hope you're doing well out there, Gil. Yeah, everyone, please, of course, there's a link in my description below. Please, everyone, subscribe to the Cardinal Sin's channel if you have not already. He is a good friend of the show. Michael Carney says, sorry, episode makes me angry. Well, that's a fair cop. And I believe this will be our final review of the evening, the caboose. The great Chief Engineer Monica D with a C. Pop in whenever you feel like it, dude. If you feel like it, it's up to you, man. No pressure. You have carte blanche. D-, total miss with this episode. Only parts but worth watching are Magil scenes. A writing vampire succubus isn't the way to go in Star Trek, especially with a kid. Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Oh, Tony Stark is leaving to go sing. Go sing your heart out, Tony. We love you.
Oh, cool. Go sing and have a good time. Just sing. Tony Stark makes you feel cool exact with a heart of steel. Sorry. Oh, my goodness. Good. Thank you, buddy. Maybe the muse has sucked away the creativity of most modern age writers. Certainly the muse was sucking away any creativity that writer's room had. Even more admitted it was a disaster.
Good.
And he's a disaster, but he's a disaster as far as I'm concerned. But everyone loves his stuff. The idea that this exotic, beautiful older woman gets excited by watching you write is ridiculous. Only a writer would come up with that. Yeah, well, that's actually a very good point.
No, that's not true. Only Renee Echevarria would come up with that.
That's true. Maybe he's not a writer. Watching the dailies. Are we insane? What are we doing? How did we get here? And then the other one said, "But it's Meg Foster, so shut up, man." I don't know.
Weird.
Weird. Well, I'll tell you what, folks. We got through another 4, and wow, Hauser stuff. Let's
Stunt Brat's talking about the time where she shot
let
Worf.
yourself in there.
And then Worf shot her, and then she beamed herself out of there.
Oh.
Zachariah.
Everyone should shoot Worf sometimes.
Hey, everyone.
Zachariah.
Hey,
Zachariah.
How are
I
you?
snuck in,
What's
yep.
up, Mark?
Good,
Mark
good.
B is here, folks.
Well, better than the Giants, I guess. Yeah, my team won today.
Sorry about those Giants, dude.
My
Huh?
troop won today, so they won the Klondike event. That's maybe my voice
Oh,
messed
well,
up
at
a
least
little
the
rough. I was
important thing
outside
happened,
in
yeah.
freezing weather today, but so the troop won, but the Giants didn't do so well. So we had a Klondike Derby today where you do all kinds of skills in the cold weather, and kids pull a sled around, and you pretend like it's Alaska without snow down here, but or up here. So it was fun, yeah, a lot of fun. But yeah, what a clunk of an episode. And those quotes were
congrats on that. And sorry.
Thank you, Mike. Yep.
My favorite part of this conversation
You didn't
is
hear me?
that Mark had to address me by saying down here and then say up here to Clobby because Clobby's in Louisiana and I'm in Canada. Poor Mark. Mark is between us. So he's like, hey, down here and
up here. Yeah.
Up here.
Yeah. And those quotes in my review were from the block text. And that book is actually really excellent.
I told
ya. I
ya.
haven't sent it to you yet. But it's just way too long. Like, if you pull out some snippets, it's good. But more they were watching the dailies. They're like, yeah, what are we thinking? Maybe this didn't work, And to be fair, that can happen, I'm sure sometimes. And when you start to do something, whatever the endeavor, but maybe don't publish it then or put it out. But with a TV show, I guess maybe you get too far ahead with the effects and everything. But one of the things they said, they were supposed to lock up Laxwana and Odo in a box for 16 hours to prove that they loved each other. And they actually started building the box. And they said,
What?
maybe, yeah,
Maybe
that scene won't work.
Maggie.
Let's knock that out.
Good to see you, man. I hope you're doing well. We have I have a little special segment to do before we get out of here tonight.
Okay.
That I think we would be remiss if we didn't do this, everybody. Yesterday was the birthday of Star Trek's greatest doctor.
Yay! DeForest Kelly!
And I just think we should just say, he's just, man, did we miss him or what?
I miss him a lot. Jackson DeForest Kelly. I miss him so much. I truly love this human being. He just, isn't he he's such a beautiful human being.
Dr. McCoy is just, look, there's some great doctors in Star Trek, but D. Kelly, yeah, he's just the best. He would have been 103 yesterday. 103.
He should be allowed to
We're only
live the same amount of time as a Vulcanian.
Yeah.
He should have
Admiral McCoy.
Yeah. He should have a Vulcanian lifespan in real life. This was a delicious human being, a delicious human being. And I
Good night, Mr. Angel.
Jackson. I'm going to Jackson. I miss you, honey.
Hey, Jackson, indeed. Good morning, Mr. Angel. Excuse me. Good night, Mr. Angel. Have a good one, or morning, whatever it is over there, buddy. Take care, Chef.
Night, Chef. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you so much for the
Yeah.
wonderful conversation. You were terrific tonight. I always love, you being a part of this conversation. Just awesome, awesome dialogues tonight. Awesome conversations.
Indeed.
And he's
it's-
going to watch
indeed it's-
Enterprise, which is awesome.
Mhm.
Yeah, he's going to watch it. I've been watching that myself again, even though we're going to review it all in 2 years now, for about 2 years from now. I'm watching it now. I just go back to it every now and then and just watch it because it's only the fifth. It's been around Enterprise this month at like 21 years. I probably binged it all like 10, 15, 20 times. Who knows? Not 20, but a lot. I love it. But anyway, I'm no weird that way because I know everyone else hates it.
It's called being prepared.
Yes, sir.
Getting ready for
So,
Show Prep 2 years from now.
Yep. Even though I'm in the third season now, with the Grumpy Archer episodes are like Grumpy Archer's nowhere near as fun. People always said they like the last 2 seasons better than the first 2. I kind of like Upbeat Archer better than Grumpy Archer. I still love Archer and I love the show. Don't get me wrong, but I like Grumpy Archer's kind of, and dark and brooding Archer kind of. He's like Batman Archer's kind of,
That third season works better streaming, I think, when you can watch them all together versus watching them on TV, and it kind of the stories kind of fit that grumpiness. But I guess we don't want to go too far down that rabbit hole right now. But yeah, it's still good.
I'm going to do a show about like the best at all the different key positions one of these days, Eric. And I love Phlox in spite of what the way the actor acts out in public, John Billingsley. But I love Phlox, and so he's a great character. Thank you for the super chat, Eric. I love him. It's been a long. But anyway, thank you, Max. I get. Have either one of you watched that podcast with Connor Trenier and Michael Keating? Dominic Keating.
No, but Eric told me about it, and Eric said that I would probably enjoy it.
It's great. I watched one the other night. I really love those guys. Are really cool, and they Connor really knows Trek. They know Trek, and they love Trek. And I watched one where they interviewed Gary Graham, Saval, and they so far of the ones they've done, no filth. I'm not saying they won't probably review filth people. I don't know if they're nice guys, so they probably will. But everyone so far that I've seen that they've done is has been real Trek people involved and stuff. And they had one where last year was the 20th anniversary of the episode Shuttle Pod 1. They had an episode for like an hour episode where they did a dramatic reading of it, where they all sat there and like Gary Graham played Archer, the other actors were there, but Trenier and Keating, those guys are great. They're a lot of fun. You got to love them. They're just you'll be charmed by it. And I think that's a really great. And it's only like an hour. Each one's like an hour. They've only had like 20 some of them or whatever so far. I really enjoy it. I plan to watch them all. Just just slowly, just to take them in and stuff. So they're really.
Isn't
cool.
it called Shuttle Pod?
Really
I think.
It's called Shuttle Pod. Shuttle Pod.
Yeah, I think
because of their famous episode Shuttle Pod 1. Indeed, indeed.
Dr. Philip Boyce.
Oh, I love him. Yeah, I love Phlox. I mean, Phlox is a great character.
But I love Dr. Boyce. I love that Dr. Boyce comes out and hands Pike
Dr. Boyce is great.
Yeah, I want that kind of a doctor.
Yeah, I've always liked that actor.
Yeah.
I've seen him in a bunch of stuff. But yeah, it's called the Shuttle Pod. It's a podcast, Jill, and of course, but there's a YouTube channel where they have them on there where you can watch them. And those guys have a lot of fun. The one with Gary Graham was great. I'm going to watch some of the other ones. Gary Graham's a cool dude, So anyway, I guess we should start moseying out of here. We've been here enough. Been here a long time.
We're gonna mosey on
out. That's what we're gonna do.
Oh, look at this.
There we go. There's some it's Admiral D. Kelly, but on the way out. But I dug out a few of my playmates to when I do my review of the new figures. So, and I was trying to remember when Retroblasting was on. I said I thought I had some of the guys in Wrath of Khan uniforms. It's actually from Generations. So that's I looked it up. So of course Retroblasting was correct. That's Kirk, Scotty, and Chekhov from our not so favorite movie Generations, and then of course I have Scotty from Relics and McCoy from Encounter at Farpoint. So they're 2 TNG appearances.
Nice. Absolutely. Eric, I'd heard about it for a long time and never really paid much attention. And when you said that to me, I went and watched one the other night and Yeah, great. It's a great podcast. I plan to watch them on YouTube all because I never got to meet Dominic Keating. He's pretty cool, but I met Connor Trenier once because I love Tripp's a great character. I love Tripp.
Oh, I heard a there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you like him, huh?
Well, no,
Hubba, hubba?
my offspring. I will have
She
to.
likes him.
Yes, I would like to get my offspring into one of those VIPs.
Well, she likes Connor, is what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, he's
at least she did at that age.
Is probably my favorite character.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I got you. He's my favorite character on the show, and I like Archer a lot too. So he's just something about Tripp. Well, anyway, let us start to make goodbyes. Let's see here. Show notes, everyone. And if I don't get this thing fixed that I got, I'm probably retiring and never going to be back on again.
Don't say that. Your agonizer, please.
We said that in sync.
Here's what I'm going to do. Probably everyone is just. I'm going to bequeath this show to Mark D and let him take over, as he'll be the new Clobby because his computer won't do this crap.
There's only one Clobby.
There's only one Clobby. Yeah.
You'll have to be the new Clobby, and I'm going to retire, and I'll miss you all. But with this garbage computer, I can't do this. So
it's a mirror universe.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Anyway,
Mark's gonna have to grow a beard and a mustache. Mark, don't do it.
Well, I do have.
I'm going to give the channel. Yeah. Maybe I'll raffle the channel computer. I'll auction the channel off to the highest bidder.
No.
How about we fix your computer?
Hey, Gil, you still out there? I'll sell you this channel for like maybe
Don't say that.
For $1.
He's kidding.
Maybe
he's kidding.
Anyway, I'm just aggravated with the stupid computer. Anyway, so all right, but I still had a great time. If you're all hearing me anyway, it's stupid.
We can hear you. Yep. I think it's when you show something, Mike. It's when you show something.
No, sometimes it still has it. Sometimes it still has a lag. Like right here, let's test it right now. 1,
2,
1,
2.
See how long it takes, man. Well, Shooter just bought it. Shooter's now the new Clobby. There you go.
No, JT Kirk bid 10,000 Quatloos.
Oh, I'm sorry, Shooter. You got outbid. Yeah, JT is the new Clobby.
See, that could be really bad if I.
Huh?
I was gonna say if I said 163 and then you were supposed to follow with 09 as a big delay, it could be end of the enterprise. To catch my drift.
You're naughty. You're
Indeed.
very naughty.
Well, all right, Max. Well, maybe I won't retire just yet, but anyway, Mark D with AC has his, of course. What else? What's going on with you?
Well, we got
Geekery tomorrow, right?
The Geekery, yep. So hopefully you'll be on. Looking forward to that as well, always. And we'll talk a little smidgen of sports ball, but not too much. So please still stop by. Always been trying to do at least one short a day at the very least to show something from my collection. Still working on a bunch of videos and things, but check out those short videos so you can see all the, which is easy for me to do and fun to just show off some little stuff. But I'm working on some long form reviews, so get back to some in-depth stuff. So working on that Playmates one. Maybe tomorrow I'll do it since I don't really care about football anymore since the Giants lost.
Sorry, buddy. Sorry, man. I thought they were my upset special. I thought they were going to find a way to pull it out. But the Eagles, they hit Hurts, but they never
dominated.
Knew that they were going to have to play Hurts. Anyway, we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
Next week, folks, Saturday Night Star Trek. 4 more episodes. And here's the deal. After these 4, there's only 1 left of the season. So what we're going to do, the week after this, we'll just review that 1 episode. Then we'll recap the season and just have a little season wrap party. How about that? What do you say to that? That's
nice.
That's the way we're doing it.
Oh, yeah.
And I hope y'all enjoy
so that. Would be, when would that be? The 4th? Or that would be...
It'll be the week after
weeks
this one.
from now.
That's all I know.
I don't know, but you know I'm tired when I'm
Fourth, yeah.
doing the Kool-Aid, man.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna bust through a wall.
Oh yeah. Boom,
Carry
boom,
Kool-Aid.
boom, 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 boom. Anyway, boy, this thing's low. All right, so, all right, folks, and yes, Monday. If I bother doing any shows next week, the schedule will be Monday night. For Monday Night Mark C Comics Talk, I'm gonna do a surprise comics review, and then talk just basic comics. Tuesday night and Thursday night on 6 p.m. at the Tom's Great Midnight's Edge After Dark channel, hanging out with Tom and the boys and ladies, and hopefully ladies. And I don't think I'll be on the Comic Roundtable this Wednesday night. I don't think I gotta go somewhere, but Wednesday night, Wild Card Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, always on the nighttime shows for Clobbering Times, of course, including Cloudy's Clubhouse with Briggs, author of the great science fiction tales, and Mark D with a C, chief engineer and author of things that are being engineered and changing stuff. I don't know.
Yeah,
he wrote
always
something.
changing things.
Engineers
He wrote
love to change things.
He wrote me an email once. Yeah. Yes. I love to change things. So, and then of course Friday night, Dadman's the Great Dadman's channel, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, talking more NFL playoffs, and then 8:30 at the Comic Shop Gang on Nicholas, the Great Nicholas's channel. And now for some shout outs. Are we ready for some shout outs, ladies and gerbils?
Ready.
Let's see. All right. Okay. So first I'm going to shout out the wrenches, then we'll shout everybody else out. Of course, the great friends of the great Eric K., the wrencher of bronze. Chris Persha, the vindicated wrench of the North. You get shouted out whether you're here or not, if you're one of the wrenches, of course. D. Bud Martin, the wrench of Iron. Lord Thoth. Avon lives, long live the Legion, my buddy, and shout out to the lovely lady Thoth. Hungry Boy, master of the Clubboni and official artist. J-Man, the wrench without fear, and my partner in crime on Earth B. Kal-El, buddy, super wrench extraordinaire. Maddie's daddy, wielder of the Mjolnir wrench. And Phantom Outsider was a man. He might even still be a man. So, anyway, Apollome's Minion and the Pupper are here as well. So that's a shout out. And now on to our shout outs to our wonderful friends, because we like to do that here because we miss you. And all right. So the wonderful anti-derivative Jill. Love you, Jill. Thank you for being here, our communications officer. Shooter. Thank you for being here, Shooter. Sandra Feliciano and Raymond Feliciano. Of course, we're here earlier. Let's see. Tony Stark. Appreciate you being here. And everyone gets shout out whether they're still here or not, of course. Lemon Pie. Thank you. Stuart Mitchell. Thank you. Neon Knight. Always good to see you. Thank you for being here, Neon Knight. It's good to see you. Let's see here. Michael Carney. Thank you so much for being here with us. JT Kirk. Thank you, buddy. Classic Comics. Zathras. Oh, of course, the great Chris Persia. I already mentioned him. That's right. Let's see here. So, Catman, a.k.a. D.D. Myers. The master of all that is Limerick, the great Max Redstone. I'll take this time out to thank all the lurkers who are with us tonight, by the way. Thank you, lurkers. Appreciate you so much. Don't
Lurk
say
away.
it enough. And anyone out there listening on a download or a rerun, anyone out there listening on a download or a rerun, thank you so much. Dave G. Sound, thank you. Mr. Angel, the chef, thank you. The great Pat S was in here earlier. Thank you, sir. I think we already said goodnight to the great Beacons, Michael and Cassandra. The common nerd, my buddy I met last night at Nick's. Thank you for being here. Pleasant Valley Picker popped in earlier. The lovely, wonderful Six. Thank you so much, beautiful Six, and thank you for that wonderful contribution. We love you. You're too kind. Wolfie, as always, the great Wolfie was here. Terrell, 72. Good to see you, Terrell, man. Always appreciate you being out there. Really, really do. Found Anonymous, thank you so much, and thank you for the super chat. Captain Infinity and Beyond. Wendy, Trauma Warrior. Rob Altus, be seeing you. Captain James T. Skywalker. Mega React. For a newcomer. Good to see you. Hey, Rob Altus, hey, man. Good to see you, my friend. Hope don't be a stranger, buddy. The lovely Leia Rose. All right, good to see you. Simply Steve. Hey, buddy. Michelle O'Rourke Johansson. Larry. Cavatina Caviman Shea. Victor Fontaine. Claude Salad. The great 32 flavors of Nick Weiser, my buddy, popped in earlier and gave a super chat. Thank you. Too kind, buddy. Keely Chow, roll that tide. And I can't say go Cowboys. I'm sorry. I can't. It's not going so far, buddy. you know, who knows? You might win. I don't think you will. You're not. I'm just kidding. Rod Thunderheart. The lovely, wonderful Stunt Brat, 777 Smith. Love you, Stunt Brat. Lieutenant Crittenden. The aforementioned great Gil Cardinal Sin. Thank you, buddy. The Woke Breaker. Zacharot. And of course, finally, last but not least, Matt G. What a great crowd we had this week, as always. The best out there on YouTube. There's no chat more extraordinary than this one. You guys who participate and stuff, and we cannot thank you enough for it. It's a great time. So we're going to start out of here now, but thank you so much, everyone. Please have a fantastic rest of your weekend. Sorry, this thing's streaming helping.
Well, here, I gotta.
Hey,
if I play this, it might explain what's going on here. Oh.
Huh?
Scotty,
As good as your word.
Aye, sir.
What are you doing?
The more they overthink the plumbing, the easier it is to stop up the drain.
That's what happens when engineers get involved, right?
Had that one? I didn't know I had that one. I love it. Oh my God, I love that. Thanks.
Well, Jill just reminded me of that
just
quote in the
downloaded that
chat. So thank you. Yeah, I just engineered its way onto the bridge.
Oh,
so,
dude, thanks. Oh my God, I love that. Thanks.
Good boy.
All right, everybody. Good night. Have a good one and enjoy these messages and clobber on, clobberers, and clobberonimals.
Your agonizer, please.